In this video, I'm gonna show you how to create an affiliate marketing website step by step. I'm gonna show you how to design the site and link products to your store so you can start making money online right away. And I'm gonna give you a huge discount on your web hosting. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Create a Pro Website. My name is Levi Hagan and I'll be walking you through this tutorial step by step. Here at Create a Pro Website, we're dedicated to providing you with in-depth tutorials on how to create a website and how to make money online. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all of our invaluable tutorials, helping you develop a passive income. This video is aimed towards the absolute beginner of web design. If you've never created a website before, rest easy. We're going to be making the entire website using a super easy to use drag and drop page builder and the best and most user-friendly e-commerce app, so you won't need any previous experience or coding knowledge. That being said, let's take a look at the website I'm going to show you how to build. It looks professional, sleek, and modern, fully themed out to show you the creative potential at your fingertips. You've got a beautiful homepage with multi-image gallery backgrounds prominently displaying the products sold in your store. You've got a call to action right here, parallel to a value proposition, prompting your visitor to check out your blog. After that, you have a beautifully displayed category section to take them straight to the product category that they're interested in. Next are some discounts, deals, sales, and finally, a testimonial section. I'm going to show you how to fully customize your homepage and your blog page as well. I'll show you how to install the Blocksy theme and utilize its header and footer builder. I'll then show you how to install all of the necessary plugins, including WooCommerce, and show you how to use them as well. Then, I'll show you how to link up your affiliate products to set up a passive income online. During this tutorial, you can use the right and left arrow keys to go forward or backward by 5 seconds. I also put timestamps of this video down in the description so you can skip ahead or go back to any of the steps at any time. All right, now that you have an understanding of what we're going to be covering, let's go ahead and get started. So step number 1 is to get your domain name and to sign up for web hosting. A domain name is just the address to your website. It's what people will enter into the search bar to find your site. So something like yourwebsite.com. And web hosting is just renting space on a server somewhere that's connected to the internet so that you can store all of your media and files on the website. There are web hosting companies that have buildings full of these servers, and they offer you 24/7 support in case anything happens to your website. If you want to own your own website and have a custom domain name for it, then you have to purchase your own web hosting, which I'll show you how to do in this tutorial, and I'll give you a massive discount for it as well. Yes, you can get a free website, but it comes with a lot of limitations. Like, you won't own your domain name. It'll be something like yourwebsite.wix.com or .squarespace.com or whoever is hosting your website. You also cannot upload new themes in order to customize your website exactly the way you want. In addition, you cannot upload plugins to increase the functionality of your website. And you can't monetize your website with ads in order to make money from it. And finally, your website could be deleted at any time because you don't technically own it. So for these reasons, I recommend web hosting because it places you in control. So in order to get your domain and hosting, just click on the very first link in the description or go to createaprowebsite.com/hosting and it'll take you to a page that looks like this. Now, by clicking on my affiliate link, which I do receive a commission from, you'll receive that massive discount on your web hosting plan and give you hosting as low as $2 to $3 a month. So I strongly recommend it. Now, you guys can see right ahead, we have hatchling plan, baby plan, and business plan right in front of you here. The hatchling plan is the cheapest one at $271 a month, and so it comes with a single domain name and free SSL. And then you've got the baby plan and the business plan, which go up from there. So you get unlimited domains and then a whole bunch of extra stuff. So I only recommend the baby plan and the business plan when your business really starts to take off or make money if that's what you're trying to do with it. So for now, since this is just a tutorial, I'm going to stick to the hatchling plan. So I'm going to go ahead and click on buy now. Perfect. And so this is where you get to type in your very own custom domain name. If you already have one, you can go to this tab right here. So I'm going to go ahead and type in a brand new one just for this website. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and click out of the search bar. And whenever it starts to highlight green like this, you know that your domain is available and you're good to use it. Now, if it's not available, you can see down here that it's going to offer you a whole bunch of different options like .club, .site, .net, online space, a whole bunch of different ones. I always recommend sticking to the .com just because it's the most common for people to actually search when they're looking for websites, and it's the most professional looking. So I'm going to stick to that one, and you can always switch it over here. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down. Now, this is kind of an important step. The domain privacy protection right here, it's $14.95 billed annually, so pay attention to that, but I think it's crucial. So what the domain privacy protection does is it protects your personal information from telemarketers and solicitors from obtaining your personal information and then just spamming you with a whole bunch of different services that they want to try and provide for your site. It gets kind of frustrating when you're having phone calls like 6 times a day and a whole bunch of emails spamming your inbox. So I always make sure that this is checked. I think it's worth the $14.95. So I'm going to leave that there. Scroll down a little bit more. And so choose a hosting plan. This right here is where we can choose between the different plans that we saw at the beginning of the video, but I mean, it's just the baby in business, so they give you an option to switch right here again. Here's your billing cycle. So for the billing cycle, you can choose between 1 month, 3, 6, 12, 24, and 36 months. Now it's important to keep in mind that you're paying for the amount of months that you select here up front. So it tells you that the 1 month is $766 a month. So for instance, the 36 months, I'm paying for it all up front. So if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that it's $170. So let's go ahead and go back. So I'm going to go ahead and select the 1 month because I only want to pay for 1 month up front. Now, as you can see, if you choose the 36, you're going to get bigger discounts. So it goes down to 61% off. So $271 a month versus $7 a month. That's like the average, but I'm going to choose the 1 month just because for the tutorial. All right, so number 3 is to create your HostGator account. And this is rather simple. You just enter in your email and a password. You're just creating an account with HostGator. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Perfect. So I went ahead and filled out the HostGator account information right here. So I just put in my email, I created a password, and then also a PIN, which is blurred out for obvious reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down to number 4. And again, so this is just the entering your billing information right here. And so you can choose between credit card and PayPal. I'm going to leave it on credit card and go ahead and just fill out my personal information. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went ahead and entered in all my personal information, including my credit card number and everything. So let's go ahead and scroll on down a little bit more. And so number 5 right here is the additional services section. So I'm actually going to do 2 things. I'm going to uncheck the site lock essentials and the backup your hard work right here. So I'm going to uncheck both of these. When it comes to the site lock essentials and the site backup, I have videos on the channel that show you guys how to do this for free. So I would definitely go ahead and check those videos out. I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down from here. So number 6 is the coupon code. So you just want to make sure that the coupon code is there and it's spelled out just like this. So Create a Pro website. If you guys went to the link createaprowebsite.com/hosting, then you definitely are using the affiliate link. So you guys are good to go. This is how you get that massive discount though. So it's really important that that's there. All right. So number 7 is just reviewing your order details. And so you can see here that we've got the domain registration for 1 year. And so that went from $17.99 down to $4.99. There's that discount that I was talking about with my coupon code. And so then you've got the hatchling plan for 1 month, which is our hosting. And so that went from $10.95 down to $7. And then the hosting add-ons doesn't have a discount, but that's because it's the privacy protection right there. So that was the one right there. And then at the very end, we come out to $29.10, which isn't too bad for a first website. So let's go ahead and click the checkbox and check out now. Perfect. And so right here, we have HostGator setting up our account. So it's only going to take a few minutes. I'll see you guys in just a sec. All right. And now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and close out of this guy. Perfect. So now it's going to take you to this part of HostGator right here. I'm going to skip over all of this stuff, scroll to the very bottom and say skip building everything. I just want to go to my HostGator dashboard. So click on that one. All right, guys. So now that we're in our HostGator dashboard, we can go ahead and move on to step number 2, which is installing WordPress. So in order to install WordPress, all we got to do is go right over here to Control Panel and click on this link right here that says Install WordPress. And then within the HostGator dashboard, it's going to give you the option right here. So just click on Install Now. So this is an important part, choosing the correct version you want to install. And so you can click here and pick a different version. I don't know why it gives you the option, but just make sure you have the newest version so everything runs properly, which it already is. So that's 5.7. And then down here for choose installation URL, it's just making sure that you install WordPress to the correct location, which location being your domain name that we just created a second ago. So just make sure it's there. You've got a drop down here. So if you've got a bunch of different domains that you own, they would all be listed here because you can choose where to install it to. So scroll on down here. For site settings, we've got site name, description. And so this is what's actually going to pop up as a label for your website. So for instance, if I were going to type something in like Wikipedia, this is the site name right here. And then this is the site description right here. So that's easy for you guys to understand. So for the site name, I'm going to type in The Modern Gentleman, because that's going to be the affiliate store that I want to create. I'm just kind of theming it out for you guys. And then for the site description, let's type something out like, perfect. So there's my site description, the paramount provider of technologies and accessories for the modern gentleman. One must keep with the times. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down to the admin account. Now, this is really important. We've got the admin username and password. So you really want to make sure that you remember this part because this is what you're going to use to log into your website every single time. So I'm going to change the admin username just to my name, just to keep it easy. But of course, you can make the username whatever you want. And then the password, type something out like this. All right, so I've got my username and password, and this is to log into the back end of the website. Now the admin email, you want to go ahead and change this, but it looks like admin@creativeproaffiliate.com. I'm going to change this to the same email that I have for the HostGator account that we just created a couple minutes ago. Perfect. Scroll on down. The next step is to choose a language, and so I speak English, so I'm going to leave it on English, and then scroll on down a little bit more. So I'm going to show you guys how to select the correct plugins, themes, and everything else later on in the video, and I'm going to walk you through everything step by step, of course. So let's go ahead and skip it for now because I want to show you guys the actual steps. We'll go ahead and click on install down here at the bottom. I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, welcome back everybody. So as you can see right here, we've got congratulations, the software was installed successfully. So WordPress is now installed. We're good to go. So this is another really important thing to keep track of. If there's two things that you keep track of while we're making this video, it would be the admin username and password, and then this administrative URL that's right here. So this is also the hyperlink that you're going to go to every time you want to edit the back end of your website. So you need username, password, and the URL. So this one right here, it's pretty easy. You just type in your domain name.com/wp-admin. So just remember wp-admin and you're good to go. But if you don't think you'll remember it, you can always open it up on a new tab and then just bookmark it. All right, so we're actually going to go ahead and take a look at the website that we just opened up. So let's go ahead and open it on a new tab. Perfect. So when you see something that looks like this, or something that says your connection is not private, or the website's not there, or this site doesn't exist, or something like that, or anything else, it just means that your site needs some time to propagate first. Now, propagation just means that HostGator is now taking the new domain that you just purchased and created, and it's sending it out to every other server in the world, letting everyone know that you just purchased it and now it's live. So that can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. It can take up to a day sometimes, or only a few minutes. So just keep coming back and clicking on the refresh button right here until it looks like a page that looks like this. And that's when you know you're ready to log in. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So after hitting refresh, it looks like it finally did something. It says The Modern Gentleman. This is my website title and the description. And you'll see that nothing's here because this is what the website looks like as of right now. So let's go ahead and close out of this tab, and we'll reopen the wp-admin link again. Perfect. And so now we are in the WordPress dashboard. Now, one thing that I wanted to do while we're in the dashboard before we do anything else was to actually just change our permalinks. So I'm going to go over to the settings and then drop down to permalinks right here. I'm going to open it on a new tab. And so what the permalinks are is right now it's set to day and name. And so every time a hyperlink comes up, like if I were to click on the About page, it would not say CAPW, which by the way is just Create a Pro website. So Create a Pro website affiliate.com. So it would not say Create a Pro website affiliate.com/about page. Right now it would say, 2021-03-12 sample post or about or something like that. And so I think that this is a little bit more cluttered. So I'm going to change it to post name, which will just change it to be Create a Pro website affiliate.com/about or /contact or /whatever. So it makes your URLs a little bit cleaner. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on Save Changes. Perfect, and go back to the dashboard. All right, guys, so now that we've set up our WordPress dashboard and we're logged in, we can go ahead and move on to step number 3, which is downloading plugins. So in order to download the plugins, we're gonna go over to the Plugins tab right here, hover over and go to Add New. I'm also going to go ahead and close out of these two tabs just because we don't need them anymore. So now we just got our dashboard and the plugins tab. So let's talk about what a plugin actually is. A plugin is essentially just extra downloadable software that you can install onto your website and just give it additional capabilities. So for instance, you can just think of the Add New button as the actual app store, and then you can think of these plugins as just apps for like your smartphone. So whenever we install one, you can do a little bit of extra stuff with your website. So let's go ahead and search a few of them right now. So under the Add New Plugins, I'm going to go over to the search bar and type in Elementor, which actually is right here. So Elementor is the easy to use drag and drop page builder that we're going to be using. Absolutely crucial. I use it in every tutorial that I do for creating websites. Of course, there are other page builders and I've done, tutorials on those, but this is the primary one that I use. Very well known, over 5 million active installations, 5 stars. So it's definitely the way to go in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and click on Install Now and activate. Perfect. From here, I'm just going to go right back over to the Plugins tab, click Add New again. And you guessed it, we've got a few different plugins, so you're gonna have to keep installing, activating, go back to add new. Install, activate, go back to add new. So let's go ahead and do the next one, search. I'm gonna type in Elementor again. And this time I'm gonna take the essential add-ons for Elementor. And so this is just a supplemental plugin that you can download for Elementor. It just comes with, right here, 40 plus stunning free elements, widgets, things like that. So it's fantastic. I use it all the time, so I'm gonna use this one as well. And activate. Perfect. Let's go back to plugins and click on add new. Go over to the corner. And this time I'm gonna search Blocksy Companion. Perfect. So Blocksy is the theme that we're going to be downloading in the next step. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and just download the supplemental plugin that you need to run it. So I'm going to click on install now and activate. Perfect. So now we're going to go back to plugins and click on add new again. All right. And then we're going to go to the search bar and search WooCommerce. All right. And it's going to be this purple one right here. So I'm going to click on install and activate. Perfect. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just close this tab and go back to the dashboard because I'm going to skip all the setup now that we have WooCommerce. Go to plugins again and click on add new. And this time I'm going to search Pretty Links. And right here, Pretty Links, I'm going to install this one and activate. Now, Pretty Links is a really cool plugin that I'm going to show you guys how to use later on in the video, but basically what it does is it allows you to cloak or mask your URL, and so basically you get to customize your URLs completely, so it makes them a lot more professional and clean, so I really like this one. Let's go ahead and go back to plugins, click on add new one more time, and we're going to download one called WP Forms. Perfect, going to go ahead and click on activate. All right, and we are good to go, so I'm going to close this tab, go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to refresh. Nice, and that's how it's done. All right, and so now that we've downloaded all of the plugins, we can go ahead and move on to step number 4, which is installing a theme. So we're gonna go over to the Appearance tab right here on the dashboard, go over to Themes, and open it up on a new tab. You'll see that I always like to open everything up on a new tab because I like having the dashboard ready to go if I ever wanna go back to it. That's just a personal thing. So now you can see that the active theme is 2021, and it's the very, very basic, in my opinion, ugly theme. Let me just show you what the website looks like right here. And so you can see it's just kind of a mint green with black text and it's very plain. So close out of that. By the way, if you want to look at your website, just go over here to the site name and you click on it, or you can open it up on a new tab, which is what I did. And so 2021 is kind of a boring theme, so we're going to add our own. So I'm going to click on add new theme and I'm going to search one called Blocksy. And here it is, Blocksy. So I'm going to click on install and activate. Okay, perfect. So now you can see that our active theme is Blocksy, so we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is step number 5, and that's downloading a Blocksy template. So in order to download the template, we're just going to go over to the Blocksy tab, which has now appeared over here now that we have the plugin and the theme. And so I'm going to open it up on a new tab. Well, actually, we already have a tab, so I'm just going to open it. All right. And then here, I'm just going to click on skip. And we are now inside of Blocksy. So under the Home tab, you can see that it gives you some customizer shortcuts and things like that. You guys can go ahead and explore all of these. You've got extensions, useful plugins, and changelog and starter sites right here. So this is actually where I'm going to go, is the starter sites. So we're going to go ahead and download one of these as a template. You can scroll through them. There's not that many compared to other themes like Astra or Deep or something like that, where they offer a lot more starter templates. But I do like Blocksy as the back end is a lot more organized and gives you a lot more of customization capabilities. So it's a little bit more powerful. So I'm going to show you guys how to use it. Don't worry. But for this tutorial, we're actually going to download the Modern Shop. Now, as you can see, as I hover over the different ones, it tells you what it's available for. So this is Gutenberg and Brizy. This one's Gutenberg, Brizy, and Elementor. So it's important to keep that in mind. We're using Elementor, as you can see right here. And so we have to make sure that it accommodates it, which it does. It's Elementor right there. But of course, if you're watching this tutorial, but you chose to use a different page builder instead of Elementor, like you chose Gutenberg or Brizy or Beaver Builder, I think, you can, of course, make sure that you can choose a different theme. So I'm going to use the Modern Shop right here. So you can click on Preview. It'll open it up on a new tab, and you can look through the preview of the website, which is already kind of cool looking. So here it is, and then you can actually go ahead and click on their social icons. They've got a little search button up here, and I like Blocksy because when you click on the search button, it overlays this search bar that you can type and search things, and if I search, I know I'm searching something in Latin, but it's because there's a lot of Latin, as you can see, titles in here. It'll show you all the different search results right here before you even hit enter, so I think that's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and import this site. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this tab and click on import. It's going to ask you to install child theme. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Choose the page builder you're using. I'm using Elementor. Do you want to install and activate the plugins? I'm going to say yes. So it looks like it's got WooCommerce, Elementor, and Contact Form 7, which it's going to automatically download Contact Form 7 and give us a contact form. But personally, I like WP Forms, which is right here, the plugin that we installed. And so I'm actually going to use this one instead, and I'm going to delete the contact form that they give us. So, but again, that's later on in the video. I'll show you guys how to do it. But as you can see, it tells you what plugins are in here. These are grayed out because we already have them installed. So. And then right here, it's just kind of an overview. So we're installing content, widgets, and options. So we're installing everything, basically. So when you click on install, it's going to install everything you possibly need for this template, which is cool. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, and so now the starter site has been imported successfully. We can go ahead and click on view site or customize right now, but I'm difficult, so I'm going to click out of it, close out of this tab, and again, show you guys that you can go up to your site name anytime you want and click on visit site or visit store. It says visit store right here because we have WooCommerce installed, which is right here, as you can see, and WooCommerce automatically inserts a store anytime you download it. So again, I'm going to open this up on a new tab. And boom, we've got our site template downloaded and we're ready to go ahead and start editing it whenever we want. So one quick little scroll through here. It is a crazy professional looking website. I think it already looks amazing, but we're going to go ahead and customize it even further. And I'll show you guys how everything works. So let's go ahead and close out of this tab. And from the dashboard, we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is step number 6 for header and footer customization. So in order to customize the header and footer, we're going to go ahead and open our site up on a new tab. So this is what the website looks like. We were just looking at it a second ago. So we're going to go ahead and click on customize right here. So in this part, we're going to be editing the header, but the first thing I want to show you guys what to do is how to actually enter in your default colors. So I'm going to show you guys how to pull a color palette for your website, which is very important. You want to have the same colors for your website throughout the site. So you don't have like yellow up here for this button, but then when I hover over this one, it would be red. You want to have, as you can see, the same yellow throughout the website. Black and yellow is apparently their theme. So there's the black and yellow there. These buttons are black and yellow, as you can see. So we're going to do the same thing. In order to do this, we're going to go ahead and open up a new tab, and we're going to go to a website called colors.co, but it's spelled weird, so it's COOLORS.co. So this is a color generator that I use all the time, and so I'm going to show you guys how to use it right now. Just click on Start the Generator. So all you have to do is hit spacebar, and every time I hit it, it's going to randomize some colors. If I ever like a color, like this white right here, I can click on the lock icon, and then I can hit spacebar again, and now you can see that this white color stayed, but the rest of them changed. And so you can keep randomizing like this, and then hit a lock, keep randomizing, lock, keep randomizing, as you can see. Excuse me. As you can see. Now, I can also drag by, you can't just drag like this, see if I were to click anywhere, but if you want to drag this one over, I can actually take this and drag it on that arrow icon, and I can move it over here. Now you see mine are still locked right there. And then I could also lock this one just if you wanted to aesthetically arrange the colors. That's completely up to you. In addition, you can also change shades. So right now it's on this shade, but I can go up or I can go down. So for instance, it's this kind of a purple right here, but I can go darker. And so now it's darker, and then I can lock it. You can also favorite it, which I rarely do. I usually just play with shades and the locking. And then you can also remove it. So if you don't want to have 5 colors and you only want to have 4, just click remove. And so now you've only got 4. If you want to add a color, just go in between on any of them, by the way, and you can hit the plus button. And so now you've got a 4th color. So I'm going to go ahead and randomize these colors and find a palette that I really like. I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went ahead and found all of the colors that I want to use. And so I've got this dark, eerie black, a black coral, which actually isn't black. It's more of a blue, but whatever. We've got white, a khaki, and also a pink. It's kind of a matte pink, very desaturated. So these are the colors that I like. After you find everything that you like, you can go up to the export button right here. And then we can go ahead and choose to export as a PDF, which is what I'm going to do. And right here, you can enter in your title, which I'm going to say my gentleman's website. So I'm just going to say gentleman table. Well, my gentleman palette. Just like that. You can add a description if you want, and then just click on export and save it to your computer. Just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and close on this tab right here and go back to the customize tab. And so now we're gonna go ahead and enter in our colors into this palette. So what's really cool about Blocksy is you can have multiple color palettes in case you want to try out different palettes with your website. So for instance, right now it's on palette 1. I can change it to palette 3, which is the default. And so now, as you can see, it changed this red. So anytime I hover, it's this red color. And so it uses these colors in all of the program spots, which is really cool. So now you can see these are orange, these hover orange, the stars are orange. Really unique. I like that. We're actually going to change color palette 3 to use that palette that we just created. So let's go ahead and open up that PDF we just saved. All right. And so now I'm going to take each of these color hex codes right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to copy and paste them into here. And so all you do is just click on the color, paste the code. And then you go to the next one, paste the code. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went ahead and pasted all of these color codes in here. And so now you can see palette 3 is good to go. So I'm going to close this out. And so now that we've got our colors in place, we can go ahead and go back to the header. One thing that you can go over is your global colors. So we can kind of make some basic corrections right here. So the basic font color is for anywhere on the website that is using a basic text function. It's going to use this default color. And so I'm going to set it to the black color that I always use right here. And so automatically that actually fixed a lot of changes right there. So then for the link color, I've got the initial is black and then the hover color is blue. And so I'm actually going to change this to my tan. And so now the active color is going to be tan as I hover over, and I like that. So we still have to fix all of these though. So for my heading color, I can change it to either be black, and so now all of my heading texts are black, or I could change it to purple or whatever I want. I think the tan looks fine for now. And then for the text selection color, that's basically whenever I hover, what color do I want the text and the highlight to be. So I'm going to change, actually, I'm going to leave the hover, which is the highlight part, to be black, and then I can change the text color to be this. And so now every time you highlight anything, it becomes tan with black. So you actually even get to customize your text selection color, which I think is pretty unique. Not a lot of themes do that. And then lastly, you've got your border color, which I'm not even going to touch. So the site background is white. You can change this color to be blue if you wanted to. And then as you scroll through, you can see that anywhere where the background is default, it changes to that blue color. But again, I'm just going to leave it white because I think it looks good. Just like that. And that's the rest of the website. So I think that's looking pretty good. Publish one more time to save your work. All right, and so first thing I want to say is this is the Blocksy editor or the customizer tab for, building your website here. Blocksy is definitely one of my favorite themes out of all of them out there for WordPress. I think it's got a fantastic backend, which is really what you need to look for when you're looking for a theme to download. I usually use Astra on the channel, but I only use Astra because it's so easy to use and it doesn't have as many customization options as Blocksy, so it kind of keeps it simple, especially for, beginners to websites. So when it comes to a theme that I regularly use when I'm making websites for clients or something like that, and I'm not teaching somebody, it's usually going to be Blocksy. And so I really like this one here. So first thing I wanted to go over is their backend. I think it's pretty fantastic. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Blocksy or anything like that. I just really like their theme. So that's why I'm talking to you guys about it. The Blocksy theme is pretty sectioned out for their backend here. You can see that everything is broken up into different categories. So you've got your general options, post types, which comes in handy when you're editing the blog posts, which we are going to be doing later on in the video. And then you've got the WooCommerce section, which you can go into and do all of their settings. And then you've got the core settings, which is like your site identity, which is where you can change your icon up here and your logos and everything like that, widgets, menus, and so on. So of course, I'm going to walk you guys through all of this, but I just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit. So firstly, we're going to go ahead and edit the header and footer. So let's go ahead and go into the header right here. But again, you also have got the footer right there. So for the header menu, we can go ahead and edit it completely. So the header menu comes with this builder right here. And so you can see that we've got 3 rows, the top row, main row, and the bottom row. So right now the top row is empty, as you can see, and so it's practically invisible up here. If I were to go ahead and add something like a button to the top row, now you can see there's a top row as well, so 1, 2, and 3. Now the template only came with the main and the bottom, and I'm going to leave it like that, but I just wanted to show you guys that you can make the top row appear by doing that. I'm going to click on the exit button. So with that top row gone, we just have to focus on the main row and the bottom row. and you have full customization over this. So for instance, for socials, if I want to drag this over, if you see all those dots that are pinging right now, that's a location that I could put this widget. So for instance, I've got one right here. You see that one next to the search widget? I can go right over to it and boom, now I can place the socials right here. And you'll see that now my social icons are over here. So let's go ahead and move it back. So now we've got our search, account, and cart, which I actually like. I'm not going to change anything here, but if you wanted to, you could always change these widgets up completely, however you want to do it. And then over here, we've got the socials. I think that looks appropriate as well because you want to have your social media displayed prominently in case they want to get in contact with you or see what you're about or anything like that. So that's pretty good to have there. We've got the menu and the logo both displayed in the center, which I think is just fantastic. They actually have a really good header on this template. So for the header, what I'm going to do is go ahead and change the logo right now. So you can actually click on whatever widget you want, and it takes you to the actual settings for the logo. Or excuse me, well, for this one is the logo. But anytime you click on, for instance, socials, it takes you to the social settings. And so, for instance, right now, because I'm on here, if I wanted to swap the order, I could take Twitter and move it to the top. And so now Twitter's in front, put it in the middle. Now it's in the middle. And then I can change the size so I can make them a little bit bigger if I want to. As you can see, they're bigger, which I'm going to drop it a little bit now, like that. And then I can change the spacing, the color. You can make it the official colors, which of course Facebook would be the blue, that would be the light blue, and that would be the rainbow. But I'm going to leave it on custom because I'm about to change this to match these colors. And then you can do some other stuff as well. You can always go to the design tab, and right now I'm going to change the colors. I don't mind the initial being black, which is what they look like when I don't hover. And then when I hover, it's blue. I'm going to change that to my tan. And so now it hovers in that beige color, just like the text. Now I'm going to change this drop down color. Don't worry, we'll get there in a second. So let's go ahead and change the logo now. Now, anytime you want to change something, you can click on the logo down here, or you can hover over it and click on the blue dots right there. Same thing, takes you to the logo customization. Let's go ahead and actually customize our own logo right now. I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and then we'll pop it in right here. So I'm going to go over to a new tab, and again, go to a website called Logo Maker, but without the E. All right, I'm going to click on Create New Design just in case you've been here before, but if you haven't, it will take you to this. And so this is just a video tutorial on how to use it, but I'm going to show you guys right now. So let's click out of that, ignore that, never show again, go away. Okay, so on Logo Maker, it's very easy to use and it's completely free, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So you can go over here and you've got your basic functions, like you can paint bucket and fill something in. It's kind of similar to Paint if you guys are familiar with that one. But if I want to add some text, click on it and I've got some text. Type whatever I want. I can use this and drag it wherever I want. I can click off of it and then just drag it like this. And then once I've highlighted it, I can go to the style settings and change width, height, spacing, everything. I can go up here to the font category and choose a category. So if I want fancy, if I want simple and modern, traditional, scary, let's check out what they have for scary fonts. And so as you can see, they've got a bunch of different fonts that's in their scary folder. Simple and modern is just a bunch of basic ones like this. So that's how you do that. If you ever want to delete something, just click on the little trash can right there. If I add a shape, I can do, you can drag that. I can add a square just like this, and then you can recolor it like this and then drag around the circle. And then you can also change the opacity, something transparent or something completely opaque. Let's delete that guy. So let's go ahead and type something in. Before you do, I forgot one last thing. You can actually search from over 1 million different graphics. And so if I were to search something like camera, you'll just get a bunch of cameras. Click on one, and now you can edit it, change the color, drag and resize, rotate, whatever you want to do. Highlight it, delete it. It's all up to you. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to add some text, and I'm going to do something like the modern gentleman, but I'm going to do it in 3 separate texts. So I'm going to say the, resize it. I'm going to hit Control, so I'm going to highlight it, hit Control C or Command C, and hit Control V or Command V if you're on a Mac, which I am, but I also use Windows. So I'm going to rechange this to gentleman, or excuse me, modern. Just like that, and increase the width like that. And one more, I'm going to say gentleman. Drag this over because modern is actually supposed to be in the middle. Gentleman goes there. You go there. Okay, so for the, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my palette. And I'm going to pull my blue color right here. Go back to logo maker, and I'm going to change the to this one, so you can just paste it in right here, just like that. And so now it's my blue color. Same thing for this gentleman. And then after that, let's go ahead and go to modern, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. Back to my preview here. And I'm going to copy paste this tan color in for the modern part right here in the center. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and change this font to Cardo. So I'm going to go over to the traditional serif and choose Cardo. Same for gentleman. And then I'm going to go to modern and change it to something a little bit special. And then I'm going to go down to traditional again. And this time I'm going to choose, instead of Cardo, I want Cinzel Decorative, I guess. Boom. That looks awesome. Drag this guy away. Drag this guy away. Let's put him centered like this. I'm actually going to lower him. You can use your arrow keys, by the way, like what I'm doing right now. I'm actually going to increase the size a little bit. Just like that. I like that. Okay. Let's shrink that up. One thing that you can do, by the way, if you ever can't figure out how to get this completely level, like it gives you these, but sometimes they're different based on font. You can actually take it and put it over it like this. Use your arrow keys to put the bottom of the M on the bottom of the T like that, and then just click and drag it over. Hang on a second. Just like that. So I've got the modern, and here comes gentleman. Boom. And you're going to laugh, but I actually want to resize modern a little bit more. Yeah. Move this over. The modern gentleman. I think that looks great. So now, if you wanted to, you could highlight everything and move it around, by the way. I wanted to also let you guys know that you can move multiple things at a time. Click out of it, and then you can go ahead and highlight the individual ones again. So from here, what I'm going to do is go to the top right corner, click on Save Logo. And I know this is the part where you're going to be like, what? I thought you said it was free. Trust me, it is. So if you want the high resolution file, so for instance, if you're going to make this a giant logo that takes up the full screen, you might want to pay the $19 for high resolution. But I'm going to say no thanks right here and click on download the low resolution file because I don't need a huge version of this. I can take a small one. And just like that, for free, it's been downloaded. So let me just close out of this. Let's go back to our website. And so under the modern shop, we're actually going to change this to our logo that we just made. Select files. And then go here. And I saved it in my logo folder. And here we go. So I've got my light logo right there. Open. Perfect. And click select. And just like that, we've got our logo up on the top right here. You can change the logo height, which is essentially the size, so I can make it huge or I can make it tiny. So I'm going to make it about that size right there. I think that looks good. Just like that. Perfect. All right. And then from here, you can include the site title and the site tagline, which again, the site title is The Modern Gentleman. So if I were to turn this on, you'll see Blocksy Modern Shop, which the template changed my site title, I guess. I guess you can type it in right here. So you can type in The Modern Gentleman, but there's no point in having that when you've got a logo. So leave it off. Just wanted to show you guys. So now we can go ahead and edit these guys over here. And so it looks like this one and this one hover correctly with my color. So I want my search bar to do that too. I'm going to go over to the 3 dots right here. Or again, you can just click on the search button. And now I've got my icon size, not going to touch any of these, not going to touch any of these. What's interesting is you can change the placeholder text. So if I were to click on the search button, it's going to overlay and do this. So I can change this to, how may I assist you? Something like this. And so that's the placeholder text, and then they can type whatever they want, as you can see. So let's go ahead and go back to the search button. And so I can also change this color. Now it looks like when we changed our default color, so this naturally changed to the correct color, which is awesome. Of course, that saves us a lot of work. That's why I like showing you guys how to do default colors. But you can change this. You can change the background color, and you can change the color of the text as well. All you got to do, go over to the design tab, and you can change the icon color. It looks like, what does this do? Maybe this is the X button. Oh no, so this is the basic icon color. So this one right here. So you change this one to tan. And so now when I hover, it's tan. So that's good to go there. And then you can go to the search results design tab. So if I were to click on the search button, design tab, now you can see the modal font color. That's this guy right here. So as soon as you change it from tan, I can change it to pink. And so now there's my pink. I don't know if that's pink or purple. You decide. But I'm going to change it back to my tan because I like that. And then the white in the middle is the actual magnifying glass in there. And then you can change the close icon background color. And so that's this guy up here. And then also the modal background, which is the black. And so if you change this from this color, you can change it to, say, blue. And now it's blue, but I actually like that black color. And so I'm going to choose my black color right here. And that is my search bar. So now we finished the social icons up here. We finished all of these as well. By the way, for social icons, if you want to actually enter in your hyperlinks, you're going to scroll on down to visitor engagement, and you'll go to the social networks, which are these guys. And one by one, you can enter in every single hyperlink that you have to each of your accounts so that when they click on this button, it will take them to that page. So that's how you do that. Let's go back to the header. We can also change these as well. So let's go ahead and click on the blue dots here. And so now we're on menu number 1 and we're customizing it. You can go to these types and you can change kind of the layout of these, which I'm not going to do. You can change the item spacing and give it more spacing in between. You can stretch the menu so that it's full width versus kind of this boxed version right here. And now you've got the drop down options, which is actually this right here. So while we're here, let's do it. Go to the design tab. Font color is, whenever it's hover, it's that tan color, which blends in with the background. And then when it's not hovering, as you can see, it's the white color. So I'm going to leave it white. And then for hover color, I'm going to change it to black, just like this. Actually, we'll change it to our black color. So now when I hover over it, it's going to be black, as you can see. And now what I'm actually going to do is I want to change this to the white color background. So let's go ahead and change the item's background color to white. So now it's a white background. So I'm going to change the main color to black. And then I'm going to change the hover color to tan. So now when I do this, the background is white. The main color, when I'm not hovering, is black, as you can see. And then when I hover, it's tan. Just like when I hover, it's tan up here, or beige, or whatever. So that's how you do that. Those 3 colors right here, so 1, 2, and 3. Then you can do the items divider, which is that line in between, which you can't even see because it's so clear. But if I were to do black, change that up, now you can see it's a dotted line. You can change the dotted line to a solid line like this right here. And so then you've got a solid line, but I actually don't care for any of it, so I'm just going to say none. I kind of like it clean like that. Perfect. You can also do a drop-down shadow, which is kind of cool. So as you have this drop-down here, it'll actually have a shadow. And so if I were to change this to be darker, you'll see it. See how there's a shadow now versus not much of a shadow versus 0 shadow, which I think the shadow actually looks kind of nice. I like that a lot, so I'm going to leave it. All right, and then for the design tab, you can also go to the design tab here and you can change the actual hover color of these buttons up here, not just the drop down. So for instance, if I want to change that hover color, let's make it red, for instance. And now when I hover, it's red. So that's a good example. I'm going to leave it tan though, because that's my style. And that's a bit of everything. So you've got the margin as well if you wanted to increase margins, but I'm not going to do that either. The last thing that you can do is actually edit the main row itself or the bottom row itself. So if you don't want to edit the widgets and you want to edit the background or something like that, you can go to main row and you can change the container from default to full width. So instead of having some spacing on the sides over here, this would get dragged over, and it would be full width. So let me just show you real quick. As you can see, completely full width of the screen. I like default, which is the boxed. Then you can do the same thing for the menu. And then you can also change the row minimum height, which I'm not going to do right now. One last thing I wanted to show you guys is another cool feature is right now there's no menu as I scroll, but you can do a sticky menu. And so the way you do that is go back and under header, you can go to headers, click on global header, and then you actually have transparent and sticky functions. So you can take the sticky function and click on this one. And so now as I scroll through the site, my menu stays up on top. And so that's completely up to you guys. Personally, I don't like when they have stickies, so I'm actually going to turn mine off, but I just wanted to show you guys how to do it. And they've got those different styles. And you have the transparent functionality. So if I turn this on, you'll have a transparent header. Boom, just like that. So now you'd of course have to edit this part in Elementor and make it wider so you have more space up on top, but it basically shoves your menu overlaid over your website header image. So that's really cool. And again, you'll hear me say it a lot. I really like transparent headers. I always do. But for this store, I'm actually going to leave it off because I kind of like the white background. Perfect. So I'm going to click publish to save our work. And I'm going to go back. All right, and then that last thing that I didn't go over was actually this icon right here, the shopping icon. So right now it says the pounds logo or currency icon, and so let's go ahead and change it to the American dollar because I'm in the US, so I'm gonna do that, but if it's pounds for you, of course, that's what you would do. But I'm gonna show you guys how to change that. Go back to the dashboard and we'll drop down to WooCommerce and go over to settings. I'm gonna open it on a new tab. And then from here, just scroll on down on the main general tab, and you'll see right here, currency options, and you can just change it from the pound to whatever currency you are. And so I'm just gonna change it to United States. Just like that. And then you can change the currency position and everything, but I'm gonna leave it there. Click Save Changes. Perfect. I'm gonna close that tab. Okay, so then I'm gonna go back to the Customizing tab and click on Refresh the Page. Perfect, and now you can see that the dollar sign is right there. So that's how you change it. One last thing, you can also go to the 6 dots while you're here. You can change the shopping cart icon in case you care to do so. I'm gonna change it to this one. And then you can change the size and everything. You can also go to the design tab and you can change the hover color, but it looks like it's blue actually. So let's go ahead and change that now. So the icon color for the hover color, change it to tan. Boom, just like that. So now it hovers the same color. I like it. Publish to save your work. Wonderful. All right, so now we've got a fully functioning, fully customized header. Let's go ahead and move on to the footer. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the back button twice. And so now we can go on to the footer. And so you'll see the footer builder come up. Let's scroll on down to the bottom, which I've got a really fast scroller, I guess, so it went way down to the bottom. So here's the bottom footer. So you can see that the page swipes up with this these 4 widgets of recent prices down here. So this is actually still part of the page, but this down here is your entire footer. So it looks like we've got 4 widgets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so you can see that your widgets are 1, 2, 3, and 4. You've got a full menu up here, and you can't see it very well because the first color is black, and so we need to change that to white. Same with these icons up here. So we've got the top row, middle, and bottom, and then your bottom row is this down here, so it's your copyright. So let me show you first. We'll go to the socials, click on edit. Let's go to the design tab, and we'll change the first color to white, so now you can see them, unless you want them to be blue for some reason, which it's still kind of hard to see them, so I'd want them to be white. And then we'll change the hover color to the tan. Just like that. Same with this menu over here, so let's go ahead and click on the 3 dots. Design tab. And then for the font color, we're gonna say the initial is white. And it looks like it's already tan, so that's good too. We can also select a menu, which there's already a default footer menu, so I don't know why it didn't select it, but with the template, a footer menu was created by whoever developed it. So if you click on that, you've got a basic, not as jumbled footer menu. So shop, contact, about, my account. So that's basically these 4 right here. It takes you to the shop, my account, their checkout page, so if they need to, or contact us, which is the contact page and about page right here. So that's pretty cool. And that looks like it's about it for that one. If you want to go ahead and change all of these widgets, you can. You would go into the widget area, and then it says text and text. And so these are actual widgets that come with WordPress, not necessarily Blocksy. And so you can change, you can actually add a widget. It'll give you a ton of them. And so for instance, if I wanted to add contact info, I'll just click on it. And so now I've got a contact info widget. And so now you can see that the same widget that's right over there for contact is right here. And so it automatically puts address, phone, mobile. And then you can change things like the address, phone, and mobile. You can actually click on it and change it. You can drag and drop them if you want to, change their sizes and everything. So I'm actually just gonna scroll down and delete. Again, you can change these widgets however you want to. I'm just gonna leave it because this is an example. But you can always go to widget 2 and change quick links to something else. So you can type something else instead of quick links, and then they actually put links in here. So this is just your basic WordPress editor. I've got videos on the channel that'll show you guys how to use just basic widgets as well, so you guys can check that out. Then you finally have the bottom row, which is the copyright. Click on that one, and you can also edit this guy. So you've got the copyright. You can change current year. This is actually shortcode, by the way. So it's taking automatically the current year, which it's 2021 right now. And the site title, which is The Modern Gentleman, because we changed that in our settings. And then powered by Creative Themes, which is our theme author, I guess. So again, I'm not really even going to change the copyright, but you can type whatever you want in here, and it's going to pop up down there. But I'm going to undo that. Perfect. So just like that, and click publish to save your work. All right, so that is the header and footer, so that is good to go. Now we have one last thing to do while we're in this section, because I know I talked about header and footer, but I also showed you guys how to do the colors and logos. So under logos, there's one more thing, and that's gonna be changing the site icon right here for HostGator. So in order to do that, click on the back button twice. We're gonna scroll all the way down to the core settings for the website, and then we're gonna go to site identity. So for site identity, we've got the site title, which is The Modern Gentleman, and then the tagline, which is just another WordPress site, which you would actually want to type in your own tagline. And we did that at the beginning of the video for WordPress, and so it looks like we would have to do it here again, but I'm not going to do it right now. Now we have the site icon. So let's go ahead and create one right now. We're going to go back to Logo Maker, click on Exit, and so this is the logo we just made. I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy, edit this guy. So I'm going to double click so I can start typing. I'm going to remove all the other letters in front. So I'm going to leave the M, make it a lot bigger. And then I'm also going to bring in a square. Change that color to like a light gray. And then I'm going to right click on it and say send to back. The reason I do that is right now you can see it's in front of the M. So if I send to back, now it's behind the M. So let's put that there. Take my M, place it into the box, and there's my logo. Box needs to be a little bit bigger, so a little bit bigger she goes. M goes in. I'm going to use my arrow keys. Perfect. I think it looks awesome. So that is my full logo right there. I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And no thanks, low resolution file right here. And now we can go ahead and close out of this tab. So now for site icon, we can go ahead and click on it. We'll go to upload files, select files, and then I'm going to pull my site icon right there. We'll click on select. It's going to ask you to crop the icon. And so if you want to, you can crop it, which I'm going to say skip cropping. And just like that, you can see that now my site icon is up there. It's a little hard to see because, of course, the tabs are already a light white. And so you can see it just barely there. So just the M. So it's just basically a little icon up there. So click publish to save your work. All right, guys. So now that we've got our icon and everything here, we are about to move on to the next step. But there's one more thing I wanted to show you guys, and it's the typography. I just wanted to cover everything on this menu, the Customize tab, while we're here under Blocksy, just because it all is in the same spot. The last thing you can do is typography. Of course, there's a whole bunch of other settings that you can go over, and I'd advise you guys to go and play with them a little bit. But typography is one that's interesting. We can go ahead and change all of the typography for the website so that naturally we'll take the different header fonts or base fonts. So for the base font, I'm going to change this one to something called Helvetica. And so now it just changed all of the base font like this, not titles, but just base font to Helvetica. And so then for the heading text, I'm going to change this to Cardo. And then I'm going to change the rest of these to Cardo. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Perfect. So now I went ahead and changed them all to Cardo, and you can see that it actually already changed my title text right here. So now it's full set of the great features is now in Cardo, which at first it was something else. It was default, so it looked like that. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and click on publish to save my work. All right, guys. So now that we've covered everything under the Blocksy theme Customize tab, so we've covered everything from typography, colors, headers and footers, and logos and site icons, we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is step number 7, and that's going to be actually customizing the pages using Elementor. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this tab right here, and now that I'm back on my dashboard, I'm going to go over to the Pages tab, open it on a new tab. And then from here, we're going to drop down to the home page and click on Edit with Elementor. All right, perfect. So now we are in the Elementor portion of the video. So this is going to be the fun part, in my personal opinion. I always like customizing the websites. So let's go ahead and close out of this cookie notice right here. By the way, this cookie notice is actually just a one-click setting on the Customizer tab. And so if you actually go to the website, click on Customize, and then you scroll on down to extensions, you'll see that cookie consent is right here, and it's literally just a setting that you turn on. And so it's just saying that we use cookies, they can click accept kind of thing. And so you can just go right here. Anyways, So back to customizing the homepage. So let me go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown of Elementor. Definitely my favorite page builder out there. It's the one that I use all the time. So the way Elementor works is it's just a bunch of widgets that you can drag and drop into sections. And so let me go over the layout first. So the layout of a website, you've got this blue box here all the way around, and it's called a section. Inside of a section, you've got columns, which is the gray dot box right here. And then inside of columns, you can put these widgets over here. And so that's these little blue boxes with a pencil icon like this. And so if you want to edit this section, normally what you would do is you would just go up to the top of the blue box and you've got these three icons right here. So this is to add a new one, this is to edit it, and then this is to delete it. Now the top one doesn't have it because our header is in the way. So you can just right click and just click on edit section. So let's go ahead and edit the section first. So the section, you can think of it as the background, or kind of also just it's kind of the container for everything, all the widgets and columns that you're gonna have. So we're gonna go ahead and go down. First, I wanna show you guys the structure. You can change the column structure. So right now there's two columns. There's this gray box and this gray box, as you can see right here. And so right now they're 50-50, even though someone dragged it by doing this. They can change the sizes. So you can make it to where one is big, one is small. And so as you can see, one small, one big. You can do the same thing right here, and it'll automatically do, it looks like a 66-33 split. So this is big, this is small. Then you can go back to 50-50 if you want, and it makes it perfectly. So I like using structure sometimes when I want to quickly reset this. Now, one thing that we're going to do is go ahead and go over to the Style tab. So first, you've got the Layout tab, and you can go through all of these here. This is kind of like, you can change it from full width to not full width, and so now it's going to be boxed on the sides, as you can see. I'm going to leave it full width. You can go to the content width, and so you can say that the stuff inside is going to be boxed or full width, same as the full section. You can change the columns gaps, so you can actually add some gapping in there. The height, so if you set it to fit to screen, this whole section will fit to the size of your screen. As you can see, it's right at the bottom there. There we go. Well, scroll too far. Then you can also change it to minimum height, and then you have a slider where you can set how high you want this thing to be, as you can see. So if I scroll down a little bit, I can make it as tall as I want to. I'm going to switch it back to default. There's one last way that you can change the size of one of these, and that's under the Advanced tab. You've got margins and padding. And so it looks like by default, this template added padding on the top and bottom. You can click this and it links all the values together. See, now it's all 200, which I'm going to go 0. And so when there's no padding, it's just going to be the size of whatever is inside of it. So I want to add padding. So margins versus padding. Padding is going to be space on the inside of the box of whatever you're editing. And then margin is space on the outside. And so I'm going to add padding. So space on the inside, on the top and on the bottom. And I'm going to add, 300. And then I'm going to add 300 on here. Perfect. So now I've got 300 up on top and 300 down below. So it's got some space. As you can see, they took this one and they overlapped it. So if I were to edit this section and go to the Advanced tab, you'll see that the top margin is -100, and that's why it crawls up over this one to overlap. So you can always play with margins and paddings to see if you can get some cool overlay looks where like you'll have a box on top of a box on top of a box kind of thing. So that's just an example for you guys. So back to editing this section, right click and click Edit Section. So we've got top and bottom 300 right here. Back under the Style tab, we can change the background of this section. And so the background right now is on normal. And so you can change it to hover. So whenever I hover over it, it does something. Like you can do a different picture. So for instance, if I were to just pick a random picture, let's just say this one, just like this. So now anytime my mouse goes over it, it changes. See that? So that's kind of cool. I'm going to delete that, go back to normal. So right now, the main background that's sticking back there is this image. So you can, under the classic, you can change the image right here. So I'm going to go over to Upload Files. So I'll choose this one, click Open, and Insert Media. And so now I've got an image in the background, as you can see. And so that works pretty well. You can also put a a background overlay over the image. And so if I wanted to, I'll do that in just a minute. But what I actually want to do is change this background from an image to a slideshow. And you can do multiple things. You can change the background type to a gradient. So right here, it's under Classic. And so it would be either an image or a color under Classic. And so if I delete the picture and I were to put a color, you just got a red background, right? Then I can change it to gradient, which means that it goes from red to pink, which let's do something a little bit more definitive. So blue. So see how it goes red to blue. And then I could go to a video and I can insert a video in the background. And then I can also do a slideshow. And so when you click on slideshow, it's going to give you a box right here for you to enter in all of the different images you want. So I'm going to do that now. upload files. I'm going to go over to my slideshow that I have, and I've got some images here. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Create New Gallery. And so now I'm in my gallery right now. And so I can edit the gallery, and I can drag and drop these images to be in a different order. So for instance, I want this one to be first. And then I want this one to be second. This one will be last. Second to last. I like that image in between. I like that order. So now I click on Insert Gallery. Perfect. Now I'm going to go over to the background overlay. Under background overlay, under the normal tab, I'm going to go over to classic, and I'm going to choose a color. You can overlay an image, but I don't think that's appropriate here. So I'm going to use a black overlay, just like this. So it's set to 50%. Of course, if I change it all the way up, it's black. And if I change it all the way down, there's no black whatsoever. So at 50%, I think I'm going to go up just a little bit more to like 54%. And I think that's good. Maybe a little bit lighter, actually. Maybe back down to 50, just so it's not too dark on that one, because that got kind of dark. I think that looks okay. If you want to, you can always click on this and you could try doing more of like a colored one, so more blue, and then I could change it to like a dark, dark blue, so something like this, which I actually kind of like. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do a little bit more black than blue, so something like this. Yeah, that looks awesome. Okay, so from here, we can go ahead and edit this first section. So I'm going to go to the title here. Oh, and by the way, on the actual background, you can change things like if you want it to be an infinite loop, or if you want it to just go through once and then stop on the end, which I don't think you would ever want. You kind of want it to be infinite loop, so that's good. You've got the duration is 5,000 milliseconds, and you can change it to, for instance, 500. And so now you'll see the images just change way too fast. That would be distracting from your title, so 5,000 is appropriate. You can do a transition, sliding up and down, so that's every time the image changes how it transitions. You've got the duration of the transition, which is 500 milliseconds. I don't think that it should transition like 1,000 or 2,000, because then it's just going to take forever to transition. Just like that. Now you can if you want to, but I actually like the 500. So it's just a fast transition. And then you can change the background size and background position, which I actually will say cover and center, which won't make too many changes, but for a few of them, if they're a little different size, it'll make sure it focuses on the center of the image. So that's important. And then for the background overlay, we went ahead and took care of that one as well. So let's go ahead and click on Update to save our work. Perfect. So now let's edit this title here. You can either triple click or just start typing right here on the actual page, or you can edit over here and type over here. So there's two different ways of editing text on the screen, so I think that's kind of unique. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to say something like the modern gentleman. And then what I'm going to do is make sure that the alignment is to the left, because you can do center if you want to, or right or anything like that. And then I'm going to change this to H1, which means header 1 text. So the reason that I choose heading 1 or H1 is I want this to be the main text that Google pulls whenever it's actually pulling metadata from my website for SEO purposes. Now, SEO just stands for search engine optimization. I'm not going to get into that at all because it's a totally different field of expertise, but I definitely recommend doing a little bit of research on it, especially if you're building a website, because it is absolutely crucial to, building a website and having it be successful. But just for that purpose, I would switch it to H1 just so that the first text of your website says the modern gentleman, which is what your site is. So from here, we can go over to the style tab, and I'm going to go ahead and change the typography and the text color. So you can either click on this side right here and change the color manually, or you can go to the global custom tab right here and actually pick some global colors, which it doesn't look like ours are in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So let me go ahead and click on Update to save my work. So in order to actually put that in there, we go over to this hamburger icon in the corner and we'll go to Site Settings. And just like we did before on the Customize tab, we're going to do the same thing for global colors here. And so we're going to change these colors. Ignore the primary, secondary text and accent because you can click on it and type whatever you want. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the first color and paste in the hex code from our palette right over here. So I will see you guys in just a second. All right, everybody, welcome back. So I went ahead and pasted in all of the hex codes for the colors, and so they are in there just like we did on the Customize tab. Now, by the way, if you notice there were 4 at the beginning, you can just hit Add Color and it'll give you a new line, and then you just type out whatever you want. So I just called them what they were. And then you've got the color, which you can put right here. Now I'm going to delete this one. There we go. So we've got our 5. So click the back button and back button one more time. So we're back on the menu. You just click update. Perfect. So now we can click on the X and we're back on the editor. And so I'm going to go ahead and go over to the title and click on this one so we can go back onto the custom colors. And now here they are. So I'm going to make it my white. So we've got the modern gentleman. Now you've got the, let's see, text shadow. I'm going to go ahead and remove. That's why it's glowing right now. But if you edit it, you can change the color to be whatever you want. So that's like a glow essentially, or you can make it black and make it look like a shadow. So text shadow I'm going to remove by hitting that reset button that's right next to it. And so now it's gone. And then under the text color, leave it white. And then for typography, you can change the font here if you wanted it to be something different, but it's already set to default. And so default pulls from the Blocksy Customize tab. So it's already set to that Cardo font that we had earlier. So that's good. You can change the weight if you want to. And so if you want to make it a little bit thinner, which I do, you can go down to like 600 or 300. And so now it's a little bit skinnier, which I'm actually going to go to 400. Yeah, I think that looks fine right there. Okay, so now that's done. We can go ahead and edit the subtitle as well. So I'll see you guys in a second. I'm just going to type one out. All right, everybody, welcome back. So I went ahead and typed out a quick little subtitle here. I'm going to go over to the style tab. And from here, I can change the text color to white again. So I'm going to go over to the white. And then I can change it to center or left or right. So I'm going to leave it on left. Under typography, the default font is Helvetica because we did that in the Customize tab. But I am going to change the size to be just a smidgen smaller. So something like that. I think that looks fine. And then you can change things like the weight and stuff like that, but I actually think it's just fine the way it is. And now lastly, I'm going to move this line over to actually shrink this up just a little bit. And I think that that's actually a good size right there. Let's try that. And then lastly, I'm actually going to increase the size of the title again. So I'm going to go back to this, just by clicking on it, and then go to typography and increase the size just a little bit more. And actually the line height as well. So make it spread out just a little bit more. Just like that. I'm going to go to the Advanced tab while I'm still editing the title, and I'm going to add a little bit more space underneath this right here, just a tiny bit. So padding on the bottom, unlink the values together, just a few, just like that. All right, so lastly, let's go ahead and edit our button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the button, and you can go ahead and edit the text. So we'll say something like shop now, and then we can also add an icon. So go down to icon right here and click on the library. And I'm going to search a right arrow. Just like this. And then you can change the icon position to after the text. And so now it's on the right-hand side. I'm going to increase the spacing just a little bit, but see how you can move it all the way out if you want to. I'm going to move it just a little bit more out. Kind of like that. Perfect. Now I'm going to change the button size from large to medium. So it's going to shrink the button up just a little bit. And then from here, I can also go ahead and change the link. So right now the store is its own page. So I'm going to go ahead and change the link. That hashtag right there is just a placeholder. That's actually just commonly used. You can backspace it out and just search the title of that page. And then Elementor is automatically going to search all the pages that you have in your WordPress. So I've got shop, about us, sample page, all that. I'm going to click on shop and it automatically enters in my website link for the shop. So that's pretty cool. From there, I'm going to go over to the style tab and we can change up the button just a little bit more. So I'm actually going to change it. First of all, the radius, let's increase the radius, which basically curves the edges. So now you can see it's a bit more round than it was. I'm going to change the background color to be tan, just like that. And then the text color can stay white. And so now every time I hover, I want to change that color too. So instead of the normal, I'm going to go over to hover. So I want the text color to change to white. And then I want the background color to change to blue. And so now when I hover over the button, the text color stays white, but the background is blue. So just like that. I think that looks good. You can also choose to add an animation to the hover. And so you can do grow, which is probably the only one I ever do. And so when I hover, it grows. You see that? Now you can do other ones like pulse shrink, and it'll do this weird bounce thing. Or a lot of them get pretty goofy, like bounce in. And so it bounces a little bit. Or I think you can get one that rotates. So it does like this little rotate thing. Depending on how you do your website, you can totally do whatever you want to do. So there's one that wobbles like that, but I'm going to stick to grow. Just like that. Perfect. And so I'm actually going to remove some of the space between this paragraph and this. And so what I'm going to do is first make sure that there's no padding on this guy, which it looks like there is a margin on the bottom. So I'm actually just going to zero that out. And so that removed a little bit of space. Now I'm going to go back to the button. And I'm going to take the margin, unlink the values, and on top, I'm going to go into the negatives. And so what that's going to do is it's going to shrink my box and it's going to pull my button up to the top. Just like that. I think that looks fantastic. I'm going to click on update to save my work. And let's just take a super fast preview of what this looks like. Oh, first I forgot about this right-hand side. So this is actually just an icon. It's not a real video. So it looks like they just chose an icon from the media library. And so I'm going to delete this guy and just delete the actual widget. Perfect. So now it's just a blank square, but that's not going to pop up on the website. So click update. And so that is how you edit this header section right here. And so we've got that really cool slideshow going across. One last thing just by looking at it. Oops, I duplicated that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. But one last thing I just noticed, I'm going to go back to edit the section. I want that background overlay to just be a little bit darker now that I'm staring at it. And it's okay to make changes as you go, because you'll be staring at it for so long and then you come back to a certain section that you did a while ago and you'll be like, ooh, what was I thinking? So it's always good to review your work. All right, so now that overlay looks good. Let's go ahead and preview the work we did on that first one. So you go right next to the update button to preview changes, and it's going to open your website up on a new tab. Boom, just like that. And so I think it looks fantastic, very professional. There's our Modern Gentleman logo. Well, the logo's up there, but there's our title. And then we can go ahead and say accept the cookies or whatever. And then the rest of the website we still have to edit. Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate this entire section 3 times. So I accidentally did it, but you just right click and click duplicate. And then right below, we've got the second one. Duplicate again. Below, we got it again. Duplicate one more time. Perfect. All right, so now for this section, what we're going to do is go ahead and actually swap these 2 columns because I want the titles to zigzag as you go down. So I'm going to grab this guy, drag it over to this side, and just like that, it's been swapped. So super easy. I'm going to change this title to Daily Accessories. So just like that. And then I'm going to go to a new tab and pull up a dummy text generator. And let's just take the standard text right here and paste it in here. Perfect. So that looks like it's enough dummy text. All right. And so that is our daily accessories section. Scroll on down a little bit more. This next section is going to be the laptop section. Perfect. So that looks like that. And then I just realized, actually, I need my third section down here, and I edited the 2 bottom ones. So we're going to go up to this second duplicate. So there's the top right there. This duplicate, you can go ahead and click the 6 dots and drag it. Scroll on down, and we'll put it at the very bottom. Boom, just like that. And so this one is going to be the drone section. All right, and then I'm also going to paste in the dummy text. Perfect. All right, and then lastly, drag drones over to this side. So we're just swapping the 2 columns, just like that. All right, so now let's go ahead and insert the images into the background so it's not the same image just over and over again. So we're going to go ahead and edit this section. So again, you can click on the 6 dots right here, or right click and say edit section. And so it takes us to the editing of the section, go to the style tab. And because we duplicated it, it's already got the same images and it's already got the same background overlay with the same setting. So all we got to do is just change out the images. So I'm going to go over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just delete all of the images by clicking on the little -X button right there. I'm going to go add to gallery, and then go to upload files, select files. This one, and then we'll take this one and this one. Perfect. And so I'm going to click on add to gallery. And so now I've got 1, 2, and 3. And again, remember, you can just drag and drop and replace the order, but I actually like that order specifically. So I'm going to click on insert gallery. And so now for daily accessories, we've got these cool headphones in the background. And so it's kind of like watches and headphones and stuff like that. Perfect. Scroll on down a little bit more. So we've got the laptop section. Let's go ahead and click on edit section for this one and go to the style tab and change the images. Remove all of these, add to gallery, upload, and select files. Okay, and so I'm going to use this one, this one, this one, and this one. Perfect. And then I'm going to click on add to gallery. And so again, you can reorder however you want, but I like this order specifically. That's why I chose it, and click on insert gallery. Boom. And just like that, we've got our laptop images in the back. All right, so lastly, we've got the drone section. So click on edit section right here. Style tab, click on the gallery. We're going to remove these images, add to gallery, upload files. All right. And then from here, I'm going to go to my drone folder, and I am going to use this guy, and this guy. Perfect. And so now we're going to add those to the gallery, and you can rearrange if you want to. Insert. Nice. And so there's our drone section. I think it looks fantastic. And then we've got the different shop buttons. So let's go ahead and change those up now. So for the modern gentleman, this one's just prompting them to go straight to the store. So shop now is appropriate. For daily accessories, we can go ahead and edit this button's text right here. So just click on the button and you go over to text, and we can say something like see accessories. And then we can scroll on down to the laptops button, click on it, and change the type to see laptops. And see drones. Perfect. And just like that, we are good to go. So click update. Alrighty, so that's all three sections there. So now we can scroll on down to this part right here. I'm going to leave this right here, and I'm actually just going to kind of customize it to be my own. And so the first thing that I want to do is I'm actually going to leave the name, I'm going to leave the title, his images, and everything. I'm going to go ahead and change this text to something like, why trust the modern gentleman. Under the style tab, I'm going to change the text color to my purple, actually. And I think the typography is just fine. Actually, I might increase the size just a smidge, just like that. For the Landon Peters box, click on it to edit it, and it's pretty simple. Similar to everything in Elementor, you can just, under the content, change what's actually in there. And so you can change the title and stuff like that, which I'm not changing anything here. I was just going to change under the Style tab, go to Content, and then I was going to change the title color to purple. So Landon Peters there. And so I like the purple there. You can change his title if you want to. This would be like a little CEO section, and why would you trust us as a company, blah, blah, blah. And then you can put some text here. We'll go ahead and edit this section next. So I'm going to say delete this title right here. And we're going to go over to the Rubik's Cube icon in the top corner here. This is to actually change our widgets, and it looks like I already had it open. So let's go to the search and type in icon. And we want to take the icon box. Drag it right above the text. See how I could just put it wherever I want? I'm going to put it above the text. And then I'm going to actually delete the text as well. And so for the icon box, let's go ahead and change the icon first. Change it to this one. All right, and then after that, we can change the view to be framed. And so I like how it will put a circle around my icon just like that. I'm going to change the heading to perfect. Type out a little snippet underneath the blog section just like that. Let's go to the Style tab, and we can actually edit all of the colors. So the primary color of my icon, I want it to be white. And then the secondary color is just the background behind it, so in the circle. So if you wanted to, you could add like a blue and do something like that, but I'm actually just going to reset it because I kind of like it clear just like that. And then next, let's go ahead and change the actual color of the text. And so for the title, we'll change its color to white. And then we'll go into the typography. I'm going to increase the size a little bit, just like that. The weight is 900. That looks good. Let's also change the subtitle text color. So I'm going to go over here and choose white again. And then if you want to, you can actually make it a little bit smaller. So something like that. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is something a little special. Watch this. I'm going to go back up to this button right here, right click on it and click on copy. Scroll on down, right click on this one and say paste the style, which only pastes all of the style settings. And so now it will make it smaller, makes it round, it applies the hover and standard color, and then it also applies those margins that I had. So let's go ahead and click on the button and remove the margin. Just like that. So I think that looks fantastic. So it's saying check out our blog. Lastly, go up to the column button right here. So this is editing the dotted line, so the background basically of this column. We're going to go over to the style section and change the background image, upload files, select files, and then insert media. And so now we've got this picture in the background. I'm going to go over to center. It moves him right into the center of the image. I like that. Size is cover, which it looks like it's automatically there. Lastly, let's put a background overlay. And so for the background overlay, I'm going to choose a classic color. And in that color is going to be the blue. And voila. Just like that, it looks fantastic. We've got that little blue overlay. We've got our icon here, and then they can click here to find out more. And so this would take them to our blog page, which we're going to create later on. Scroll on down. So now we've got the backpack types. And so now we've got the backpack types. And so what I'm actually going to do is change this to a category section. I actually like the way that these images are set up. So let's go ahead and change the text first. I'm going to delete the title. Go over to the Rubik's Cube icon. So it pulls up all the widgets and search something called dual, which is a dual color heading, and drag it in. Poof. So first thing I want to do is change the content style to be icon on top. I'm going to change the icon to a battery. And then this is where you can actually change the heading. So I'm going to say, and then the second half. So how may we assist you? And then you can also enter in the text right here. Perfect. I'm going to go over to the style tab next, and then I can go ahead and change the dual heading style so I can add some padding, radius, spacing, whatever you want to do. For the icon style, I can change the color, but honestly, I kind of like the dark gray, so I'm just going to leave it there. And then you can change the color and typography of the title and text. So we've got title and subtitle. So for the title, I'm going to change this to blue, and I'm going to change this to tan. And then for the subtitle, I'm actually going to leave it the way it is, except for shrink it a little bit and increase the letter spacing. Just like that. All right. And then I'm going to delete this other subtitle that used to be there. Boom, just like that. So I think that looks a little bit more professional. Now for these back here, you guys already know how to edit the images in the background. And so what I'm going to do is just edit the images into the background and then go ahead and type in the text right here for the 4 different sections. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Welcome back, everybody. So I went ahead and did all 4 images and all 4 titles. So as you can see now, whenever you hover over them, a different image shows up, which I think looks fantastic. The way that I did that was very simple, similar to what I showed you guys you could do on the hero section. When you're editing the column, so this is the original image, you just go over to the hover tab, and then you place the second image right here. And so I like that because at least now it's interactive and it's not just a plain images, on a grid. And so you just hover over them and they all look great. And then also automatically they came with a background overlay. And so I didn't even touch that. I literally just put in 2 pictures and a title for each one of them. And later on, what we're going to do as we actually insert product categories is we're going to make it to where when you click on this title, we'll enter in a link and it will take you to that correct page so they can shop for laptops, accessories, gaming, or drones. So scroll on down a little bit more. This section I'm not going to do much to except for the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and copy this guy right here. So copy the dual color heading, and then I'm going to paste it right here. Delete this title, delete the subtitle, edit this guy. So products on sale, I'm going to change the icon just by clicking on it and search tag. And so now we've got a little a little tag. So it's like a sale tag. And then we can also change this. Take a look at some of our best sellers. And so these are the products on sale. And again, we're going to be editing those sale products pretty soon. So for the deal of the day, I'm actually going to leave this because I think it's perfectly fine. And I can actually show you guys later on how to do a product discount code for the 70% off. And so get the deal now. Only thing we're going to do is scroll up to the top. We're going to copy this button because I don't have to deal with the margins, if you guys remember. Scroll back down to this and paste the style. Boom, just like that. Grab the deal now. Okay. And then we're also going to go to the 6 dots. One final thing, go to the style tab. So that's the background image. I want it to have like a parallax effect. So while I scroll through, the image stays in the background. All you got to do is go to attachment and say fixed. And so now watch this. As I scroll, the image stays there. And so it looks like we're scrolling over a window, which is kind of cool. So click update to save our work. Scrolling down here. All right, so for the popular backpacks, again, I'm going to copy this dual color heading icon right here and copy it. Scroll down to the backpacks, paste it, delete the top, and delete the bottom. This time I'm actually going to take the icon off completely. So you just hover over the icon and click the trash button. Just like that. There is no icon. Now, of course, you could do this and see if they have a backpack icon. Nope. Bag. Now, they got a shopping bag. Yeah, so that's not really appropriate. So I'm going to just go ahead and leave it with no icon. And then you can go ahead and change this text. Take a look at our backpacks, just like that. Awesome. And so we can scroll on down. And then we've got a little testimonial section. I'm actually not even going to change this at all. I think it looks fine the way it is. If you guys ever do want to change these, all it is text and a little testimonial box. And so as you can see, it's actually an image box. That's interesting. So you can go over to the Rubik's Cube icon. You can grab a image box, place it in here, and you can go ahead and edit it if you want to remove that and change it. Or you can just edit this one. So click on the edit button. And so it looks like the image they chose was a small little circle image, and then they add a title description. So title, description, and then it pops up right here. And then under the style tab, you can go ahead to the content folder and you can actually change the title and description coloring. And so that's where they got all of that from. And so it looks like mine is set to default, so it's pulling the colors from the customizing tab. Now, another way you can do this, I just wanted to show you 3 ways, is you can actually search testimonial. And so then you've got the testimonial section right here, and you can actually pull this in, and let me just show you right underneath this guy. It automatically gives you a little testimonial template that you can use. And so all you do is you can insert an image. And so let's just say, for instance, it's one of their circle images. So we'll just pull this guy. So you've got the little image. You can change the John Doe right there, designer, and then you could do a whole bunch of styling options for that, but I'm going to delete it. So again, I'm leaving this guy. And so that is our homepage. Let's go ahead and update to save our work. And then I'm going to click preview to take a look at it. So this is the website so far. I think the homepage looks absolutely stunning, I've got to say, scrolling through. Very impressed. Looks great. One last thing that I noticed that I want to change, so I'm going to go ahead and go back. So the title section, I like it dark. For the section right here, I think that's fine too. But for these images, they're a little bit lighter. So having a black overlay, I don't think is appropriate. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the section. Style tab. Background overlay. And I'm just going to change this from black to white. And then I'm going to change the opacity way down. So something like that. And I actually think I'm going to change this to black. Let's do that right now. Like I said, it's always good to review your work. I'm constantly hitting the preview changes, seeing how it looks. And if there's a red flag that pops up in my mind and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right, then I always go back and I'll make some small changes to it. So let's change that to black. Style tab. Text color, change that to black as well. I think that looks good. I'm going to actually increase the size of this just because it's on a lighter background, so it's harder to see. So typography, tiny bit. Actually, arrow keys. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, just like that. Perfect. I think that looks amazing. Update. All right, before we leave the homepage, there's one final thing that I think is absolutely crucial to making a website just look aesthetically pleasing, and that is motion effects. It really enters in a interactable aspect to your website, and I think it's really important. So the way you do motion effects is very simple. For instance, let's do this first one. I'm going to go to edit the section first. I'm going to go to the advanced tab and then drop down to motion effects right here. It's always going to be in the advanced tab and then under motion effects. So for this, I want the entire background image to fade in when the website loads in. So fade in. And then I also want this to fade in, but from the left. So I'm going to select this whole gray box, advanced tab, motion effects, and change it to fade from the left. Just like that. Let me give you a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. So update to save your work, and then preview. Look at that. I think that looks so much more elegant when everything fades in and slides in properly. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in some motion effects for the rest of the website, and I'll see you guys in just a second. But that's how you do it. You always just go by editing the part that you want. You go to the advanced tab, and then you just click on motion effects. And so you guys got a bunch of different ones. You can say zoom in, and it zooms in like that. But personally, I shouldn't say always. I usually stick to this fade section right here. Definitely my favorite. So you've got fade in, then you've got fade down, fade up, left and right. And so I want it to fade from the left, just like this. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went ahead and added motion effects to the whole thing. Let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. We're going to click on preview changes. The first part fades in just like that. We've got the title as well. Each title slides in from the left and the right, just like this. And then this one comes from the bottom, and as you come up, those come in, come up from the bottom, and everything looks a lot cleaner. I like that a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. And so we finished on the home page. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this tab as well and close my dummy text page. All right, guys, and from our dashboard, we're going to go ahead and go back to the Pages tab just like this and open on a new tab. Because now we've got to edit the About Us page. And so from here, let's go ahead and click on Edit with Elementor. All right, and then from here, you guys already kind of remember, or hopefully remember, a little bit of the editing style for Elementor, so I'm going to kind of move through this a little bit quicker. So first, we're going to right-click and click on Edit Section so we can take care of this background right here. So it looks like the content width is boxed, and it's at 750. I'm going to leave that. I am going to increase the padding a little bit, so top and bottom, I just want a little bit more space, so I'm going to go to 250. Just like that, so a little bit more space. I'm going to go to the Style tab and change the background image. Just like that, and insert media. Looks good. I'm going to change the position to be center, and then the size is cover, so I think that looks fine. Let's go ahead and add that background overlay as well. I'm pretty much always going to add a background overlay just so that the text is able to pop out from the image. Let's go ahead and add that blue. And I think that looks pretty good, just like that. For the background, let's check center top. No, I like center. Okay. So just like that. Now we can change the About Us part. So I'm actually going to leave it just like this, but I am going to edit it by going to the Style and Typography. I think the color is just fine. I want it to be all uppercase though, so I'm going to transform it to uppercase. And then I'm going to make it a lot thinner. Let's try 200. Yeah, and then I'm going to increase the size just a little bit, and the spacing. Perfect. All right, and then right below, I'm going to change this to be something like, greetings and welcome to the modern gentleman. Go to the Style tab. I want the color to be the same tan color, and then let's go ahead and change the typography as well. I'm going to actually reduce the size a little bit, so something like this. I'm going to reduce the line height as well, so it's a little bit closer to the title. And then I'm going to increase the letter spacing as well. Actually, I might increase the size again. No, I actually kind of like it small like that. See if we can make it thinner. Yeah, perfect. And I'm also going to change the About Us title, go back to the typography, and reduce the line height as well. That way they are right next to each other. Perfect, just like that. So I'm going to click Update to save my work. Last thing I'm going to do, so while I'm on it, I'm going to add the motion effects. So right now I'm on the title, so I actually want to go to the column, Advanced, Motion Effects again, and I just want it to fade in, as well as I'm going to edit the background, so Edit Section, and then I'm going to go to the Advanced tab, Motion Effects, and say Fade In. So now the whole thing is going to fade in, and I want the title to actually go a little bit slower, so I can go back to the motion effects on this one, so on the column right here, And I can actually change the duration to be normal to slow. And so now it takes a little bit longer to come in. So I think that looks kind of grand. So moving on, these next two sections I'm actually going to delete. So I'm going to delete the first one, delete the second one. And so now I've got these two right up against each other. And so what I'm going to do is click the plus button right here, and it's going to add a section. And I'm going to click on the gray folder. And so what we're going to use is the Elementor library, and they have something called blocks. And so what blocks are is they're templated little sections that you can actually insert into your website. So instead of taking an entire page, I could just take a section like this. So one of these blue boxes here. So I'm going to click on the add button, gray folder box again. And under blocks, we're going to scroll on down just a little bit. And we're going to choose this one right here. So you're going to click on the insert button, and it's going to ask you to connect the template library. It's pretty easy. They're just going to make sure that you have an email with them. Perfect. And so I'm going to connect our Create a Pro website account. All right, so now it's been connected. I'm going to go ahead and close that tab. I'm going to close this guy, update to save our work, and then I'm going to refresh the page. All right, so now Elementor has been updated. Scroll down a little bit. We'll click the plus button one more time and go to the gray folder. When we go to blocks, and then we're going to scroll on down a little bit, and I'm going to take this better than any visual one right here. So just click insert. Perfect. So now we're ready to go. All right, and then from here, I'm going to go ahead and edit this first part, which is just a basic icon box, which is a very basic Elementor widget. So let's go ahead and change the icon right here to something like something random. So I'm just going to put an anchor there. I'm going to go ahead and edit the first text and say our story. And then what I'm going to do is go to the style tab, and I actually want to switch these two fonts. So right now, this one is Cardo and this one is Helvetica, and so I'm going to switch the two. So I'm going to go over to the style tab, go to content, and then I'm going to take the title first and change it to Helvetica. So it's a little bit more straight font. And then I'm going to go to the description text and change it to Cardo. Perfect. So something like this. And then this would be the about section. So we can also go ahead and open up a new tab, go to dummy text. And just pull the basic Latin dummy text like this. Control C, Command V, just like that. Okay, so now it's just some dummy text to fill it in, but this is where you would actually put in the story. And then we can scroll on down a little bit more. And so this is the amazing team that we're going to use here. So I'm actually going to change this up just a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing that we did on the home page and use the dual heading color one. Dual color heading, put him in there. I'm going to delete these two on the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and edit this guy. Search hand, and I'm going to use this one right here and click on insert. All right, so something along those lines. I'm going to go over to the style tab, and then I'm going to change the coloring of the first title right here to tan. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click update to save my work. Perfect. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and edit these three down below. So I'm going to go ahead and take this image right here and change it to one of my three. Perfect. And then you can also change the names because he's obviously not Melissa. So I'm going to change this to something like perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and actually add some motion effects to these as well. So I'm going to go ahead to this column, go to the advanced tab and motion effects. And I'm going to have this one come in from the left. I'm going to have this column come in from the right. And then this one come in from the bottom. Perfect. So just like that, we are finished. And then this guy as well, I'm actually just going to edit the section one more time, go to the style tab, and I'm going to make this one that parallax effect as the same as the one on the homepage. So now as you scroll, it's like a window and the image in the background stays there. So update to save our work. And let's go for a quick preview. So everything fades in just like this. We've got the Modern Gentleman story right here. And then as we scroll in, these three swoop in just like that. I think that looks fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this tab. All right, so the next thing we have to do is edit the contact us page. And so the way I'm going to do that is actually do a duplicate of the about page. And so all you have to do is go down to this save options button right next to update, click on it and say save as a template. And so now you can save this entire page as a template and then you can duplicate it to another page. So I'm going to save something like, and so now you can see that in my templates, I've got the about page template and I can insert it whenever I want. So let's go ahead and do that in the contact page right now. So I'm going to close out of this tab, close out of that tab. I'm going to go back to the pages tab and click on all pages, open it on a new tab. And from here, we can go to the contact page and click on edit with Elementor. All right. And so from here, what I'm going to do is just delete everything first. So to delete everything, I'm going to go ahead and right click and just say delete on each section. So I can click on the X right here, and that's everything. So now I can go over to the gray folder, go to my templates, and I'm going to import my about page template and say yes. All right, and so now because this is a duplicate, it also has all of the motion effects. And so first I'm going to go ahead and change the background. So click on edit section by right clicking on it. I'm going to go over to the style tab and just change the background image. All right, and then click on insert media. And so now I've got my about us in the back image. So I actually have to change the title, but in just a second, let's go to the background overlay. I'm actually going to increase the overlay just a little bit so there's a little bit more blue. Something like 63, I think looks good. All right, and then I'm also going to change this title here. So now you can just click on it and type in something like, let's talk. And then for the subtitle, now I'm going to go to the style tab and actually change the typography. I'm going to change this one to the capital as well. So go to transform right here on the style tab and click on not capitalize. It needs to be uppercase. Just like that. Perfect. And then I'm also going to increase the size a little bit, just a little bit, and then letter spacing as well. Click update to save my work. All right, and so now that we've finished the title section, I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down to this part. And so what I'm going to do is actually delete both of these guys, the widgets on the inside. So now I've just got this one column. I'm going to right click on the column and say add new column. So now I've got two columns. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on edit the section. So the 6 dots right here. And so I'm going to go over to the structure under the layout tab. And if you guys remember, I showed you guys this earlier. You can change it to one bigger, one smaller. And so I'm going to choose the 3366 like this. Perfect. So let's go to the Rubik's Cube icon. I'm going to grab a heading, put it in there, back to the Rubik's Cube, and I'm going to choose a divider, put it above. And then I'm going to take another widget called text editor, throw it on this side, and then one more text editor below. Like that. All right, so my divider, I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And so I can go ahead and make a bunch of changes like how wide it is, but I actually don't mind it being 100. Actually, I'll make it like 90. I'm going to change the width to be 2. So it's a little bit thicker, just like that. Go to the text here. Our mission. Go to the style tab, and I'm going to change the text color to black. Change the typography to Helvetica. And go to 400 weight. And increase the size. And letter spacing. Actually, a little bit of line height too wouldn't hurt. Just like that. Perfect. And then on this side, I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate the dummy text. So something like this. And then I'm going to change this text color to light gray. And that to darker. Now the last thing I want to do is just go over to this column right here and edit it. I'm going to say for vertical align, I want it to be top. And so now all of the stuff inside of the column doesn't align to the middle, it aligns to the top. So something like that. Just a little mission section with some text and then maybe like a subtext here. Scroll on down one more time. And this is where we're going to put in our contact form. So let's go ahead and get that started right now. I'm going to go ahead and delete this part because this was the about page part. And so delete it. We're going to add a new section right on top, plus sign, and just say one column right there. So now let me go ahead and show you guys how to actually insert one in. First, we're going to click on the plus button so we can open up our widgets over here, and we're going to search something called WP Forms. And we're not going to use the one from WordPress. We're going to use the one from the essential add-ons that we used for Elementor. So I'm going to drag this one over here. Reason being is this widget is a little bit more customizable. And so from here, we're going to go over to the dashboard, and we'll go down to WP Forms, which is right here, and click on Add New. I'm going to open it on a new tab. All right, and so when we're creating a contact form, you could create a blank one and actually do all that work, but I mean, why do all that work when we can just start from an actual template? So I'm just gonna say a simple contact form template right here. And just like that, we've already got a contact form. So it's pretty simple to use WP Forms. If I wanted to move the name to be after the email, I just click on it and drag it down below email. And now I've got email on top and name right here, but I like it name, email, and then comment or message right there. Anytime you want to actually edit one of these, you just click on it and it takes you straight to the settings for it. So I can change a name and I could say whatever I want up here, but I'm actually just going to leave it as name. And then I like first and last just like this, but you can also change it from format from first and last to simple, which means just they can type anything. So I'll leave it on first and last. And then you can also change if it's a required field just by clicking on this check bar. And then instead of removing that part right there, then that little red asterisk is gone, and so it's not required anymore. But I'm going to make that required. I'm going to click on content and message and just actually say message. Just like that. Now I'm going to go back to the add fields tab. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a phone number. So let's go ahead and do a number right here. I'm going to put it right there. Click on it and type in phone in front of it. So phone number, and I'm going to say that this one is not required. Add fields. And then it's going to ask to choose what they're looking for. I kind of want to do something like that. So let's do a drop-down box, and I'm going to put it right here. And so now I'm going to click on it. I'm going to change the name to choose what you're looking for. And this is going to be more of like a, what type of work are you looking for? What are you contacting me for? Just so we can categorize the emails because you're going to get a lot of them. And so the first choice, I'm going to go ahead and change to something like customer service. And then the second one can be returns. So this is just a bunch of troubleshooting. So if someone's going to be contacting you, it's probably going to be based on, you know, something went wrong with their order. So I'm just giving them some options so we can categorize it. Anytime you want to add one, just click the plus button. And now I've got another one. Something like this. All right. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and make this a required choice. So they have to tell me what they're looking for. I'm going to go to the advanced options down below, and I'm going to go ahead and add a placeholder text, and I'm going to say choose one. So they know that they have to click here and choose one of the options right there, and then tell me what they're looking for. So I think this looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and click on save to save my work. And then one last thing I need to do is I actually need to go to the settings tab. And under general, I need to change the name. So this is how we're going to find it. So I'm just going to call it primary contact form, just like that. And click on save. All right, so remember this title because this is what I named it so that I can remember which one I created. So it's primary contact form. So we're going to go ahead and close out of this and refresh this tab for Elementor. Oh, we got to save our work first. So I'm going to click on update, refresh the page. Perfect. Scroll on down to our WP Forms widget and just click on it. And now we can select a form and you'll see primary contact form is right there. So however many you create, you can put different ones in different places. Perfect. So now we've got the primary contact form right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually remove the title because I don't want it to show primary contact form right there. So that's gone. And then also what you can do is remove the labels if you want to. And then just like I put a placeholder text right here, you could put a placeholder text saying first, last, email, phone number, and stuff like that. But I'm not too picky, so I'm just going to leave all of these placeholder names on top, or the labels. But if you wanted to turn them off, you would just turn it off right here, as you can see. And so then I'm going to go over to the style tab, and you can actually style out the entire form. So I can change the background color. So I'm actually going to make it just a little bit of a lighter gray. So something like that. I think that looks good. And then you can add some padding on the sides, so kind of squish it in here. And then I'm also going to add a border radius to curve the edges. So now you can see, well, that box covers it too, but you can see this curve right here. So there's a bit of a curved edge. I like that. I'm going to add a box shadow. I'm going to increase the blur and the spread. And a little bit more blur, a little bit less spread, actually. Perfect. I think that looks good. All right, so we've got a contact form that's working on our website. And so then you can also change the color of the button and stuff like that. You can change the title and description colors. And so you can customize everything about this form. So you can change this color, you can change the actual placeholder colors, and then you can also edit the button. So if I were to scroll down and go to the submit button, right here, I can actually customize the button. And so I can do the normal background color, it could be something like our tan. And then I can increase the border radius to curve it a little bit, just like that. I could add a box shadow if I want to, but I'm not going to. And then for the hover color, well, actually, let's change the text color to white. So like that. And then whenever they hover over the button, I want them to have a background color of blue and a text color of white. And so now when you hover, it turns blue, just like that. So click update to save your work. All right, and then we've got the visit our store button, and you can start shopping now. Let's go ahead and just fix that button as well. So go to the style tab, increase the radius a little bit. I'm going to reduce the size to medium, and then I can go back to the style tab and I can change the text color to be white, background color to be tan, go to the hover tab, change the text to be white and blue. And so now when you hover, it turns blue, just like that. Update to save our work. All right, and so now we can close out of that tab. Let's go ahead and preview everything we've done so far. So I'm going to go ahead and open our website up on a new tab. So we've got a preview of the home page here. Everything scrolls in from the sides, up from the bottom. Looks good. Go all the way back up to the top. I'm going to go over to the About Us page. Fades in, looks good. Those come in from the bottom. Go back to the contact page. And same thing, it fades in, our mission, and then you've got a contact form where they can type everything that they need to, email, phone number, and it even makes sure that it's a valid email address, so that's pretty cool. And then you also have the drop down where they can say, oh, this is about a return, and then they can type out a message. Scroll down a little bit more, and we've got visit our store, and they would click on this, and it would take them to the store. So let's go back to the top. And then now we're going to go ahead and start customizing the shop and products and things like that. So let's go ahead and go back to the dashboard. All right, so now that we've fully customized our website pages, so we did the home page, about page, and contact page, now that it looks all great, we can go ahead and move on to step number 8, which is setting up our affiliate links and also setting up the store. All right, guys, for this portion of the video, we're actually going to be using Amazon Associates so that we can get into their affiliate program, and then we're going to start selling products from Amazon on this website, and that's how we're going to do the affiliate. So the first thing I want to do is actually go to the Products tab and go to All Products, and I'm going to open it up on a new tab just like this. And so right now, as you can see, we've got a whole bunch of products and they're all just backpacks. This came stock with the Modern Store template from Blocksy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take each one of these and I'm actually going to name it as a product. And then I'm going to put them all into the same category as a backpack. And so I'll show you guys how to do that with one of them. And then from here on out, I'll just do the rest of them off camera. So let's go ahead and do this first one right here. So in order to edit a product, all you have to do is click on Edit. And so this is a pretty standard product with the WooCommerce plugin here, which, remember WooCommerce, we installed it earlier. So this is how to create a store online. And so they already give you a title, a description right here, and then you've got some general settings that you can kind of change around here. And I'll show you guys how to do this for the affiliate products. And then you can scroll down a little bit more and you've got the short description right here. And then we've got the images for the backpack as well. And that's where you put them in. Then you also have categories. And so sometimes when you go to a store, you know how you can choose a men's section and then you go to pants, and then in pants you can go to jeans specifically. Well, this is how we do it here. It's the categories. And so you can take casual, for instance, and then you can say, I want something from casual, let's say t-shirts as an example. And then I can select a parent category, or I can leave this blank and hit add new category. So if I leave it blank, it's going to create another main category. And then if I select a parent, so let's say casual, and click add, it's going to make t-shirts a subcategory of casual. And so that's basically how it works. You're just making subcategories and things like that. And so I'm actually going to delete t-shirts right now. So I'm going to go over to categories on a new tab. And then I'm actually going to delete all three. So casual, t-shirts, and travel. So that's all of them. You can go to bulk actions, click on delete, and then say apply. All right, so while we're here, let's actually go ahead and just add some categories. So I'm going to go ahead to the add new category right here and just type in something like backpacks. And then you can also enter in a slug, which is URL friendly, which I'm actually just not going to do right now. And then everything else is fine. So I'm just going to click on add new. And then I'm going to add one called daily accessories. Add new. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add a few more. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went ahead and just added some other categories that we're going to add products into later. And so you'll see I added a backpack category. Not that I wanted to sell backpacks on this theme website, but we have so many backpacks as automatic products. So I just kind of made one so I can put them all into it. And so we've got daily accessories, and then a subcategory because of the dash is earbuds. Under drones, I've got DJI, which is just a brand of drones. And then under gaming, I've got controllers. And then under laptops, I've got Lenovo, which again is just a brand of laptops and computers. And so now we can go ahead and close out of this tab because we've got our categories in here. So now we're editing the product. And so I wanted to show you guys how to do this. And so this one is just going to be this backpack right here. I don't even know what that is, like woven backpack or something like that. So I'm just going to say backpack 1. And then I'm going to leave the description in here. And then we've got, this is the URL, so it takes you to creativethemes.com/Blocksy. And so the button text, so when you see the button right next to the product and it'll say like buy now or something, you can actually change the button text right here. So I'm going to say, instead of buy on creative themes, I'll just say buy now. Regular price is $25. And so then what you can do is also add tags to this product. And so what a tag is you're basically putting a little name tag on it. So when you search something on your website, so for instance, whenever I search right here on the search bar, you'll see that if I were to type backpack, nothing's going to pop up because there's nothing with a tag as a backpack. So a tag is something that's invisible but allows you to search for a product. So you want to kind of put as many tags as you can, anything that someone would search to find this product. So for instance, backpack, bag, maybe the colors of it, maybe the material, which I don't even know what that is, so I'm just going to leave it blank, but you get the idea. So you put tags on there, and then if you were to go ahead and click on the search bar and type in backpack, now this product is what's going to pop up. And so then you can also change the images here. I'm going to show you guys how to do this when we actually start adding our products, but I just wanted to go ahead and change this one from the t-shirts category to something else. So I'm going to click on update to save my work real quick. And then after clicking on update, you're going to see that it's uncategorized because it refreshed the page and now all of my new categories are in here. So let's go ahead and put it into the backpacks category and out of the uncategorized. Update one more time. So now that we've got a basic idea of what the backend looks like for each individual product, I'm going to go ahead and edit each of them, all the backpacks to be in the backpack category. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. If you go back to all products, you'll see that it'll tell you what category all the products are in. And now it's blank because I deleted that casual category and the travel category. So now I want all of these under backpack. What I can do is I can actually just click on the select all button right here. And I can say bulk actions, edit. And then I can click apply. And so now I'm doing a bulk edit. And so everything is selected. And from here, I can go ahead and select a category for all of the products. And so I'm just going to say backpacks. And then I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down and click on update. Perfect. So now, as you can see, all of the backpacks are all in the backpack category, so we can rest easy. Let's go ahead and add our first product. So in order to add our first product, we're going to be using Amazon Associates. So I'm going to open up a new tab and search Amazon. And then go to their official website. Now, I really encourage you to pay attention to whatever niche you're actually going into, whether it be technology, or it might be health and fitness, or it might be food, or whatever it may be. whatever the niche is, I want you to go ahead and kind of brainstorm different product ideas, and you can actually research different smaller websites. It doesn't have to be Amazon. You can find affiliate programs where you can sell other people's products. Amazon is just the one that I'm going to use as an example because it's so well known. So if you scroll all the way to the very bottom of their website, you'll see right here, become an affiliate. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link. And so now all you have to do is sign in and then create an Amazon Associates account, and we're going to be able to actually sell Amazon products for a commission. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to click on sign up. And so it's going to ask you to sign into your Amazon account, and if you don't have one, you can just go ahead and create one right off the bat. So just click on create your account. I'm going to go ahead and sign into my personal account. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on next. So we're basically just setting up our Amazon Associates account. And then right here, we actually have to enter in the website that we're going to be selling products off of. So we're going to go ahead and type in our actual website domain that we created at the very beginning. And so the way I'm going to do that is just go back to my website, open it up on a new tab like this, and copy the hyperlink. So we'll close that tab, go back to Amazon, and paste. And click on add. And so at capwaffiliate.com is where we're going to be selling products. So now we can click on next. And so now it's going to ask you any websites or apps. So if you have an app, you put it here. If you have a website, you put it here. Any of these things that we listed right here, are any of them directed towards any children under 13? So if you're selling like children's products. And so I'm just going to say no, because this is for technology. Okay, so next we just have to put in a preferred associate store ID. And so you can just put in a custom one. So I'm just going to say the same thing as my domain name, just without the .com. And so again, it's going to show you the websites and apps that you have listed. And so what are your websites or apps about? And so you basically just put in a short description right here. And so I'll put something like, all right. And so The Modern Gentleman is just a technology blog that offers ratings on products. And so we're also going to recommend them. Perfect. All right. So now we're going to scroll on down just a little bit. Now, which of the following is the most primary topic? So you basically just kind of pick your niche, which mine is computer software and technology. And so then a secondary topic, if you have a secondary topic, which mine could probably be gaming or something like that. And so now what type of products are you looking to sell? So obviously electronics, computers and office. Let's see. We're also going to be doing maybe a digital download, but other than that, that's pretty much it. And then we can do what type of websites or mobile apps. And so this one is going to be a blog. And then if you have a secondary type, you could say it's a content or niche website. Scroll on down a little bit more. So now we've got traffic and monetization. So we're basically going to tell them how we plan on driving traffic to our website. And so you can say with like SEO, we've got a blog. We could do some paid ads on social networks and social media. We might be able to build up an email list kind of thing. So now let's see, how do you utilize your website and apps to generate income? And so I'm going to say Amazon Associates is the only way that I monetize my site, and you don't have to put a second one here, but you can tell them like other affiliate programs. Like if you're doing other products from different websites, maybe you might want to say that. But for this example, I'm just using Amazon. So, and then how do you usually build links? And so you guys can say blog editor here. And then we're also going to say how many total unique visitors per month. I'm going to say less than 500 for now, especially if you're just building the website for the first time and we're starting out. And then what's your primary reason for joining Amazon Associates? And you can say to get rich content for my site or to monetize your site. So I'm just going to say to monetize. And then how did you hear about us? And so you can say something here. I'm just going to say online post. Or excuse me, online search. And then let's just do the CAPTCHA here. Agree to the terms and finish. Perfect. And so now we have finished setting up our associate program. And so you'll see that our new ID is just the ID that we put in -20. And so do you want to enter in your payment and tax information? I'm going to just say later. All right. And so now it's going to take you to the Amazon Associates dashboard. And so you'll be able to see what websites you have and your metrics for them as well. So we're going to go ahead and scroll up to the top, and we're going to go to the product linking tab and click on product links. Now, product links is where we're going to go over and over again every time we want to add a new product. So I'm going to show you guys how to do 4 different ones, and we'll put them to the 4 different categories. And so this is where you just search a keyword or the ASIN number. And so you can actually pull that from each product. It's basically the license plate of the product. So let's go ahead and search a laptop. And so now it's just going to show you a bunch of different laptops that you can use for Lenovo. And so I'm actually just going to use this one right here. So we're going to click on Get Link. Oops. Right here. All right. And so now we want to click on text only right here. But first I want to open up the website actually on a new tab so I can view the product, so I can actually pull all the information that I need. So now I'm actually looking at the product right here, and we've got our different images and everything. So back to Amazon, getting the link. So this is how you get the link. You just go over to text only right here, scroll on down and click on standard link because we don't want HTML. And so this is your affiliate link to sell this product. This is pretty important. So I'm just going to triple click and copy it. And we'll go back to the products tab and click on add new. All right. And so for the first product, this is just going to be a Lenovo laptop. And so I can go over here and pull whatever I need to. So I'm just going to say a Lenovo IdeaPad 315 laptop. I realize I just lost the hyperlink. We'll go back and copy it again. For the description, I'm just going to pull the same description right here and just copy paste it. Just like that. For the regular price, we need to pull the price from Amazon. So $359.99. Just like that. We're going to change the product from simple to external affiliate product because this is a affiliate product. And so now it'll give you the option to put in a URL and a button, just like that. So let's go ahead and pull the URL now. So triple click and copy and paste right into the link, just like that. And then for the button text, you can say buy on Amazon. Now for the product short description, you can go ahead and pull the rest of this stuff up here and paste it in right here. Actually, that looks huge. So let's go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to paste as plain text. There we go. So now it's regular. Perfect. Okay. So we only have 3 things left to do. So we went all the way down the list. So now we go over to the right-hand side and we'll see right here, we want to put it into a category. And so I'm going to put it into the Lenovo category under laptops and computers. Now let's go ahead and add some tags. So let's think, what is something that someone would search in a search bar if they were looking for this specific product? So they might search Lenovo, laptop. It's a gray laptop. So now anytime someone searches any of these, this product is going to pop up. And now we can set the product image. So in order to get the product image, all you have to do is go over to the Amazon part right here, click on the image, and it's going to show you the giant image. And you can copy all of these and pull them onto the website so that you use the official Amazon product images. So all you do is right click and just save image as, and then you can save it to your computer. Now I've already done this, so I'm going to go ahead and just use the ones that I have saved. They're the exact same images. So if I go back to my product, I'm going to go to set the product image. So when you set here, let me go back. So setting the product image, you want to put one right here and then the rest of them into the gallery. And so this is the one that shows up first. And then as you look at the ones on the side, those would be those other product gallery images. So I'm going to go over to upload. And then in my products tab, I've got laptops. All right. And so as you can see, I've got all my images here. So I'm going to use this one first and then go to set product image. And so now that's going to be the main image. And so now I can go to my product gallery and I can upload the rest of the files. So now I will take this one and the rest of these. All right. And then I'm going to click on add to gallery. And so now I've got a full product gallery there as well. So I think everything is looking fantastic. Let's go ahead and click on the publish button right here. All right, so now this product is live. Let's go ahead and take a look at how it looks. I'm going to go over to our website title here, click on it to open it up on a new tab. Just like that. And let's go to the store. All right, and so this is the store. And so they've got like this cool header image on top, which I can show you guys how to move in just a little bit. We'll scroll on down. And so we've got all of our backpacks, of course. And so I'm going to go to the computer and you can click on it. Perfect. So now you see we've got the title right here, which is what we topped up on top. This is the short description. So that was at the very bottom of the product while we were editing it. So that's the short description. And then the big description is at the bottom, and that's where all those bullet points were. And then you can switch between description and reviews. And so this is where someone can leave a review if they want to and leave some stars as well. And then they can click on submit here. And so if you scroll up, here is the main image, and then you've got the product gallery right behind it. And so everyone can look at the different images just like this, and they can use the arrow keys. And then as they hover over it, it zooms in just like that. So that is fantastic. And now when you click on buy on Amazon, it's going to take them using your affiliate link straight to Amazon. And so when they click on buy now, you'll receive your commission through Amazon. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to go back to the products tab. And then I can go ahead and close out of these two tabs. So this was the link for that product, and then this was the actual product page. So now I'm back to here where I can search things. All right, so now I've done a Lenovo laptop in the exact same way that I just showed you guys how to do that one. I'm gonna go ahead and off camera add 3 more different products just so I can show you guys how to place them in different places. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, everybody, welcome back. So I went ahead and entered in the other 3 products. So we've got the Lenovo IdeaPad, we've got the DJI Phantom 3, Jabra Elite Active Wireless Earbuds, and then we also have a PlayStation 4 controller for the gaming section. So one of each. So this is gaming, accessories, drones, and laptops and computers. And so again, I did the exact same process that we just did for the laptop. So I just searched something like this, and then I came up with whatever product I wanted, and I went get link, opened on a new tab, and then I opened this guy on a new tab. And so I've got the product right here, and I copied all of the descriptions and everything, and then also the price, you know. And then I went ahead and went to the text only, standard link, and I just copied this in there. So I did the exact same process. I just did it 4 times, and so I wanted to save you guys some time. So we've got all 4 of these in here. So if I go to the store right now, of course, by clicking on the site title name and opening it up on a new tab, so now we can go to the shop, which I'm going to open that up on a new tab, because I also want to show you that you can search right now if you guys did enter in the tags like I said. So for instance, for the controller, it's going to pull up the PlayStation 4 controller right here. And so this also has a controller in the description because it comes with a controller, and so that's why it's also picking this one up. Or if I were to search earbuds, so there's the earbuds in the title, it had a tag for it, so I searched it and it comes up. So that's pretty cool. So let's close out of that store tab. And so here are the products in our store. And if you scroll through, we've got the drone right here, we've got the earbuds, laptop, and where is the gaming? Oh, it's not on there. It's on page 2. And so there is page 2. And then anytime you click on one of the products, you've got the full image here that they can zoom in on. And then you also have the title here with the short description and everything. They've got a gallery that they can look at. And then they've also got the description and reviews. And one other thing that's really cool is WooCommerce always throws in these related products automatically. And so if I click on this one because I saw it, it will also take me to this product over here. And so I can look through it if I want to. I've got different images and everything, and then I can go to buy on Amazon, and it's always going to take me straight to that product on Amazon. And so I can look through their exact same images, and then I can purchase it for the same price. So one last thing that I wanted to go over you guys on the affiliate part is going to be the Permalinks plugin. So let's go ahead and close out of the Amazon tab. So Permalinks is that plugin that we downloaded earlier, so I'm going to open it up on a new tab. And if you guys remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that Permalinks will cloak or mask your affiliate links, which is what it's really useful for, and make them look a lot more professional. So for instance, if I were to open the products tab, or well, it's right here. So if I were to go and edit the Lenovo again, and I'll open it up on a new tab, and then I were to go in here, you'll see that the affiliate link is a whole bunch of numbers, letters, and asterisks and question marks, and it's super long. And so one thing that we can do is we can go ahead and copy this one. We'll go over to Permalinks. You can click on Add New. And so you get to title what this is, and so I'm going to say Lenovo Affiliate, just so I know what link this is. And so then you want to change this from temporary over to 301 permanent. And then the target URL is the affiliate link. And so again, that looks crazy. And so we're going to change that to a pretty link, which we can actually customize. And so I'm going to say something like that. And then I can click on update. Perfect. And so now you see that the Lenovo affiliate is right here. And you'll see that my pretty link that is cloaking my other link is right here. So creativeproaffiliate.com/Lenovo laptop. And then you'll see the last part there. Click on it once and you can copy it just like that. And then I'm actually going to go back to editing the product. And I'm going to paste it in here. And so now it's actually this link. It's not the affiliate link. So it's Lenovo laptop affiliate. Let's click on update. And so now it's a totally different URL, but if I still go back to my store, so I'm going to click on visit store, and I scroll down to the laptop and I click on buy on Amazon, it's going to redirect me still to that affiliate link that's covered with numbers, letters, question marks, and everything. But on my website, the pretty link looks a little bit better. So that's how you cloak those links for you. And it still takes you to your Amazon link. And a really cool thing about pretty links is once you do this for every one of your affiliate links and you have a whole bunch of different titles here, you can also go ahead and go over to the clicks tab. And so I'll open that up on a new tab. And so you can pay attention to the clicks and find out where they're coming from, which is cool. And then you can also go upgrade and you can look at all of the different options for if you went to the premium version of Pretty Links and you get a whole bunch of different stuff that they give you. And so if you go to the clicks tab, you can kind of pay attention to the metrics. So that's also pretty unique for Pretty Links. All right, guys. So now that our Pretty Links are in order for the affiliate links and everything, I wanted to actually show you guys how to set up the rest of the header menu. So let's go ahead and go to Appearance and click on Customize on a new tab. All right, so now we're going to straighten out the last two menu options right here. So we've got the Home, About, and Contact page done. So now we're going to straighten out the Store and Products. So for products, it did this for the template here. So it gave us all these simple product variable grouped, and those are types of products. So we're going to fix that. And then also the shop is right sidebar and left sidebar. It's two different pages with two different sidebars. So first what we're going to go do is drop all the way down to core and click on menus, and we're going to edit the main menu. And so right now you can see that shop right here has a sidebar and sidebar. So we're actually going to delete both of these and then just leave the shop page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the add items button and just exit out of both of these. Perfect. And so now for products, I'm actually going to click on it and I'm going to change the name to departments. And I'm going to leave the placeholder link there. So that means that when they click on departments, it doesn't go anywhere because I want them to click on one of the drop-down options. And so for the drop-down options, let's go ahead and close departments. Instead of a simple product and everything, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of those. And we're going to put in the actual categories, the product categories. And essentially that will take them to the laptops department or to the accessories department. And so let's do that now. So we're going to go ahead and close pages and we're going to go over to product categories. And so now we can select things like backpacks, accessories, drones, and gaming. Oh, and laptops. Perfect. So we'll close the add items. And now remember what we did in the header and footer section. We just drag and drop. So I'm going to drag backpacks up and put it under departments. Oop, too far. Just like that. And then we'll take daily accessories. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and click on publish. And so now anytime they hover over departments, they'll have all of the different departments that we have or the different categories that we have. And then if they were to click on, for instance, laptops and computers, it will take them to the product category page right here, and they'll be able to see the laptops right here. And so, of course, if you had more laptops under the laptop and computer category, they would pop up, but I only have one example for you. So, for instance, if I were to click on backpacks, though, it would take you to the backpacks section, and now you can see all the different backpacks. So that looks pretty good. All right, guys, and then there's one last thing that I wanted to show you guys, and that was, remember these buttons right here for accessories and then laptops and everything. So you actually have to go back and add them so that when they click on it, it'll actually go. So let's go ahead and close out of this guy. We're going to open our site on a new tab, and then I'm going to do it again, and we can close out of the products tab. And so on this page, I'm actually going to open up on Elementor. So let's go ahead and scroll on down. And so the first one is daily accessories. So we can click on see accessories and we can change this link by going up to our site. Let's go over to the daily accessories product category page. And we can just take this link, Control C and Control V. Just like that. All right, so now this will take them to the accessories page. Scroll on down and now we can do the laptops. So click on the button to edit it. We'll go to the laptops page. All right, and that looks pretty good. Now we can also make sure we paste the same hyperlinks in here. So you can go to the actual title text right here and you can paste. So this is the laptop and computers page. So let's go back to laptops and computers. And then same for this one. So let me go ahead and just do these three real quick. I'll see you guys in a second. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went ahead and just inserted the links for the rest of these. So now you click on daily accessories and it'll take you to the daily accessories page and so on. So we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this tab and close out of this tab. All right, guys. So now that our entire affiliate linking system has been set up, we can go ahead and move on to step number 9, which is setting up the blog. So the first thing we're going to do to set up the blog is actually create a blog page. So let's go over to pages and click on add new. I'm going to open it on a new tab. All right, and then close out of this. So again, all we're going to have to do is just go over here and type in blog. We're just titling the page and then click on publish and publish again. Perfect. And so now we can click on edit with Elementor now that we've created the page. All right. And so now I'm going to make it easy on myself, just like I did on the about and contact page. I'm going to go ahead and just upload my template for the about page. So go over to my templates, and then I'm going to go to the about page template right here and insert. Perfect. So I've got the About Us page here, and so we're going to start customizing. Now, the first thing I want to do is actually remove that site title. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to click Update to save our work. I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and then from here, let's go over to All Pages. And so we're going to go over to the blog page right here. And so what I'm going to do is click on View, and then we'll click on Customize. All right, and so Customize right here. All right, so now we're just going to hover over the blog site title right here and click on Edit. It's going to take us straight to the page title. So just go back one, and you'll be able to turn it off. Just like that. Perfect. Now just click on Publish to save your work and close the tab. So then we can refresh this tab as well. All right, and now our site title is gone. So let's go ahead and edit this section. We're going to right click and click on Edit Section. I'm going to go ahead and change this image to this one that I have right over here and click on Insert Media. And it's automatically going to place it center. Now let me see what top center looks like. I actually kind of like that a little bit better, so I think I'm going to leave it like that. All right, and so now we can change the About Us part. All right, and so now we've got the Modern Gentleman's blog. And so I want to actually make sure that it's not going to be scrunched up like this. And one way that I can do that without removing the sizing of the title is I can actually go back to editing the section. I can go over to layout, and I can say the content width is going to be full width. And so now my column is going to take up the full width of the page. And so that's fine because at least now my text is going to be stretched across. And so that's the gentleman's blog right there. And then we can also edit the subtext. So something like that, for example, I think that looks great. Perfect. So let's go ahead and scroll on down to the next section. And so now what I'm going to do is actually change this and then remove this from here. So I'm going to take out the text editor. Let's go ahead and edit this box right here. I'm going to change the icon to a book. Just like that. And I'm going to leave it as the Modern Gentleman on the bottom, but the top is going to be blog. Just like that. All right. And so now in this section, we're going to go ahead and introduce something called a post grid. So we're going to go up to the Rubik's Cube icon right here, and we're going to search post. All right, and so you can use the WordPress widgets here, but I'm actually going to look for the Essential Add-ons widget right here because it's a lot more customizable. So similar to the contact form that we used on the contact page. So I'm going to take the post grid, drag it over, throw it right underneath the icon box. And so now we've got our post grid. So right now we don't have any posts. When you install WordPress for the first time, you get one stock post and it's just hello world. So that's what it's pulling from right now. So we're actually going to delete this post, and then I'm going to show you guys 2 different ways to create posts on WordPress. One I strongly recommend by using Elementor, and then the other one is going to be the basic way of using the WordPress editor. So I'll show you guys how to delete that. But first, we can go ahead and customize this one if we want to. Actually, we're not going to touch this one just yet. Let's go ahead and get over to the blog section. Let's go ahead and scroll on down just a little bit further. So we're going to go ahead and just remove the introduction section. So delete that. And we can keep the visit our store part. Now this, I'm going to go ahead and edit the button again. So let's make it medium again. We'll leave the start shopping now. That's fine. We can actually make this go to the store. Oh, it's called shop. And so we can click on shop and it'll automatically put in the hyperlink for us. And so now we can go to the style tab and we can change the normal. So it's going to be white text with a tan background, and then go over to hover, and it's going to be white text with a blue background. And so now when I hover, it goes like that. So that's good. And I'm going to increase the radius a little bit so it's a little bit more round. And that's the one. So I'm going to click on update to save my work. Awesome. So visit our store, start shopping now. We've got our post grid, and now we're ready to add some actual posts to this. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of Elementor for now, and we've already updated to save our work, so we're good. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our first post. So I'm going to go over to posts and click on add new. Okay, so this is where you could actually create some blog posts. Let's just do something like, I don't know, 6 gaming tactics that you wouldn't think about. And so there's a little bit of clickbait for you. And so now let's go ahead and add some stuff. I'm going to go over here and get some dummy text, and it's right there. Go to the generator. We'll scroll down and pull the most common. Control C. And so here's where you would just do like an example of a blog post. When you're using the WordPress editor, you can use 2 different buttons. You've got this plus button right here and this plus button right here. And so you click on it and it's basically adding a block. It's the same thing as a widget in Elementor. And so I could add a heading text and it would look something like this, or I could add paragraph, which is what's about to happen right here. That's the default. I could add images, videos, whatever I want. So for instance, let's do a paragraph first. So Command V and just paste that in there, and then we'll hit enter. We'll go ahead and enter in an image next. So I'll go ahead and do here and search image. Just like this, and I'll upload the image. And let's just take something from my media here. Perfect, so I've got my image in there, and then now I can type underneath it. We'll put another paragraph. And then right here, let's go ahead and try something new. I'm gonna go ahead and enter in an image right here. All right. And then I can go ahead and go up here to the top. Let's actually put a title right above this. So right here, go to the plus button and go for a heading. We can call it controllers. And then if you want to edit it, you can actually change a whole bunch of other stuff if you want to. So let's go with text color and change it to black. So let's go for controllers. And I've got this guy. I'm going to shrink it up just a little bit. So just like this, and I can write a caption if I want to, so like a little description about this, and then I could add a button right underneath. And then in the button I could say, perfect. And so then I can also edit this button, so I can go over to the button block and I can type in the link right here. And so right here, I could paste in my affiliate link for this gaming product or the PS4 controller, and it would take them to Amazon right here. So this is just an example. Of course, you would actually say 6 gaming tactics that you wouldn't think about. And so you'd be, you know, like title 1 is this. So let's go ahead and enter in one right there. So enter, and we'll say right here, heading. So you would say title 1, and then you have like a paragraph about that. And then you'd have like title 2 would be right here. And so on. And so you would have a whole bunch of them. And then at the very bottom, I just wanted to give you guys an example that you could put like a product image, a little description, and be like, hey, if you guys liked, you know, all of these gaming tactics, check out this controller that I have. And then they could click right here and go buy it on Amazon. So this is an example of a informative style blog post that would also be able to transfer into a sales pitch. So let's go ahead and click on publish to save our work. Close out of that. The last thing that I want to do is go back to the actual post settings right here. This is like individual block settings. So I'm going to go to the post settings, and you can actually go over here to a featured image, and I'm just going to set a featured image real quick. All right. And then I'm going to click on set featured image. And so you'll see this guy with the headset is my featured image. So I'm going to click on update. Perfect. So let's go ahead and close out of this tab. And we'll leave the dummy text open. So now what I want to do is go ahead and open up a new tab. Well, actually, it's not even going to be on our header menu right now. I was going to go visit the blog. So we actually have to go to pages. So open it on a new tab. And let's go back to the vlog and click on view. All right, scroll on down, and now you'll see that my other post is right here. And so we've got 6 gaming tactics that you wouldn't think about. It's got a little subtext for like the first title that's on there. It's by Levi, which that's the account that I'm logged into over here. And then you can click on read more. So if they click on read more, it's going to take them to the actual blog post within the website, so it's nicely nested in there. And then they could click on this button if they wanted to go to Amazon right there. Now, of course, I didn't put the link in just because I was too lazy to go grab the link right now. But other than that, so that's the first way of creating a blog post. And so I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely not my favorite way. Now, of course, these are the social icons and everything, and they can leave a comment here. Now, this definitely isn't my favorite way because it's, in my opinion, not as customizable as the second option. And so the second option is going to be actually using Elementor to customize your post. So let's go ahead and go back to post and go to add new on a new tab. All right. And so this time we're going to title this one something else. So we'll say something like that. So high caliber sound quality, it's the Jabra review. And so if you guys remember, Jabra was one of the products that we actually entered into our store. So from here, we're not actually going to do anything else in here. We're actually going to go straight to Elementor and completely customize it. So I'm just going to click on publish and publish again. All right, and close this guy out. And now, oh, one last thing, we do have to set a featured image. So let me do that real fast. Go to my upload files. There it is. All right, and then set the image. And so now I've got my background image right there, so I can go ahead and click on update to save my work. Perfect. So we just put in a title and a featured image, and now we're gonna go straight into Elementor. So just click right up here, edit with Elementor. All right, guys, and so now we get to actually customize our entire post using Elementor rather than just having, essentially what the WordPress is kind of similar to like a Word document or something like that. So now we have Elementor. So what I'm going to do is, again, use that same template from my library right here, my template library, and I'm going to enter in the About page template. Perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and change the background image by right-clicking on this section header and clicking on Edit Section. And so we're going to go over to the Style tab and change the image. Insert Media. And so now we've got this cool background. Let's go ahead and change the title. Perfect. And then let's also go ahead and go back to editing the section, go to the Layout tab, and I'm going to make sure that the content is full width so that it spreads my title all the way across. So I like that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and scroll on down to this next section over here. And so we've got the Modern Gentleman part. So I'm actually going to delete all of this stuff in here. So let's delete this. And so now I've got my little section right here. One thing that we're going to do is click on the 6 dots to edit the section. And I'm going to actually put this right here, the full width section, turn it on. And so now it takes up the full width of the page, which looks a little bit better in my opinion. All right. And then I'm also going to add a new column. So right click on the column and click on add new column, just like we did before. All right. And then I'm going to edit the column again on the 6 dots, and I'm going to change the content width to full width as well. So now these take up the full width. Going to go to the Rubik's Cube icon and take a few widgets all at one time. So let's take the image, put it on this side, back to the icon in the corner. I'm going to take a heading title, back to the widgets, and I'm going to take a star rating. So just type in star in the top. And then I'm also going to take a title. Actually, let's make it a text editor. Let's take a divider widget and a button. Perfect. So for the image, I'm going to click on it and I'm going to insert in my product image. So I'm going to use this one right here. And then on this side, I'm going to type in something like this. Go to the Style tab, change the text color to black. And then for the stars right here, I'm not really going to do much editing, but I can actually say what the rating is. And so I'm going to change it to 4.5. And you'll see that it actually appropriately displays it right there. Go to the Style tab, and I'm just going to change the color to be my tan, just so it matches the theme of the website. I'm going to leave this dummy text right here because I think it's fine. The spacer, or excuse me, the divider, I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller and thicker. So go over to the Style tab and increase the weight. And then I'm going to click on the button right here and say buy on Amazon. And then this is where you would put the affiliate link for this product that we're reviewing. And so you would put the link right here, but again, I'm not going to go over and grab the link again. That's just what you guys would do right there. And then I can go over to the style tab and style out the button similar to every other button on this website. So white text, tan background, go to the hover, white text, blue background. And then I'm going to increase the radius so it's a little bit more round, just like that. All right. And click on update to save my work. So now we've got like a little product section. It's kind of similar to Amazon. We just created it by putting a heading, a star rating, a text divider, and a button. And so now it looks like just what you would see on Amazon before you buy a product. Scroll down and we're going to actually insert a new section. So click the plus button right here. Plus one section. Click on the 6 dots to edit it and make it full width as well. Scroll on down and let's go ahead and just delete the introduce yourself part again because that's a duplicate. All right, and so now we've got our one section here and it's full width. So now I'm going to go over and search something in the elements called tab. And I'm going to take the tabs one right here, drag it in. And I've got multiple tabs that you can click on and have multiple paragraphs and different things in here. So I'm going to click on edit. And first I want my position to be vertical. So now the tabs are on the side. And then you can actually edit what's in the tabs. And so paste some text here. So what I'm going to do is actually take a little bit of text right here and change it to heading 3. And then as you can see, it'll change it to my heading 3 style. So it'll look like little titles in here. Scroll on down. All right. And so as you can see, I can say tab 1 has all of this in here. And so tab 1 could be you could say Levi's review is right here. And then you could say tab 2. So that's Levi's review right there. So tab 2 could be Amazon reviews, or it could be whatever you want it to be. And then you can add a third tab and say that this is just like that. And you can add a fourth tab and say something like that. And so you have just a bunch of different concepts that people can click on and go to different things. And so for the Amazon reviews, I could just put a bunch of text in here. Battery life, I could put something else in here. So you get the idea. You've got multiple tabs that you can actually show off different people's topics and things like that. And then I wanted to make this full width. So let's go to the section settings and we'll change the content width to full width. All right. So I think that's looking pretty good. Scroll on down just a little bit more and we've got our visit our store section right here. And then the start shopping now button, which we can also edit. We can change it to medium again. Go to the style tab and change this as well. Perfect. And so now we've got our button there and increase the radius as well. Update to save our work. Perfect. So now what I'm going to show you guys how to do is take off this title right here. So let's go ahead and close out of this tab. We'll close out of the dummy text as well. We'll go over to the post tab and go to all posts on a new tab. All right. And then from here for the high caliber sound quality, the Jabber review, we're going to go ahead and click on view. And then we're going to customize this specific post by clicking on the customize tab there. And then from here, all we have to do is go over and click on the edit button when we're hovering over this and you'll see post title. So I'm going to go hit the back button once and take off the post title. Perfect. So now we're going to hit publish to save our work and then we're going to go preview it. But while we're at it, there's one last thing we can do while we're in the customizing tab. So we're going to hit the back button, go down to the menus, and we're going to edit the main menu one last time, and we're going to insert the blog menu right here. So let's go ahead and hit add items, and under pages, you'll see blog right here. So I'm going to add it, and I want to put it in front of the shop. So put it right there, and click publish. Perfect. So now we have the blog post section right here in our header menu navigation. So that's good to go. And then one last thing I wanted to show you guys, and this is just for fun, but I really like it, is you can go up to the general tab right here and you can go to the scroll to top button and click on the button and say yes and turn it on. And then you can go to this arrow right here and you can customize it. And so I want it to be a circle like this. Go to the design tab and I can say that I want the shape background to be black before I touch it. And then when I touch it and hover over it, I want it to be tan. And then for the icon color, I'll leave it white both times and say publish. All right, with that being done, let's go ahead and close out of this tab, and we're going to open our website on a new tab and take a look at it. All right, so right off the bat, we've got the beautiful homepage that we put together. We've got our blog section, which we still need to hook up this button right here to go to the blog. And then we have the Why Trust the Modern Gentleman, the different sections that you can go to, and now all of them take you to those specific categories. Products on sale. We've got a deal of the day. I think it's looking fantastic. Here's the back to top button right here. And so now, as you can see, I changed it to black and tan. And so when I hover over it, it's black and tan. Click on it, takes you to the top of the page. Let's take a look at the blog page. For the blog page, we scroll down. We've got the one that we created in the WordPress editor, and then we also have the one we created with Elementor. So if we click on the Elementor version, you'll see that this one actually looks like a web page versus a blog post. And so it's just a different style of doing it. And so as you scroll through, we've got a review on these Jabra headphones, or excuse me, earbuds. And so they could click right here and say buy on Amazon, and it's going to take them to Amazon. And then we've also got like the review, and they can click through here and see all of the different things that we have to say about it. And then they can visit our store. I'm going to close out of this tab right here. All right, guys, we've completely finished the blog section. We've created two different types of posts, one from the WordPress editor and then the other one from Elementor. So now that we've done that, the blog is complete. We can go ahead and move on to our 10th and final step, and that is mobile responsiveness. So now we're going to go back to the homepage one more time. So I'm going to open the website up on a new tab. And then what we're going to do is open up with Elementor one more time. Perfect. So let's talk about what mobile responsiveness is. So making sure that your website is mobile responsive means that you're going to make sure that the website looks good on desktop right now. Now that's a bigger screen. Now, if someone was looking at this website on their cell phone, which is vertical, not only not horizontal, it's vertical, it's also a lot smaller. So you want to make sure that the website sizing and layout will also adjust correctly to that size of screen. So one way we can do that is we go over to the responsive mode button right down here in the bottom left corner, right next to the update button. And so we'll click on the responsive mode, and you can choose between desktop, tablet, and phone. So we're going to go to the cell phone. And so what Elementor does is it's automatically going to compress your website as best as it can into a mobile version. And so as you can see right off the bat, the first part looks fantastic. It actually compressed it nicely. And so we've got our button here and the little intro text here. You can see that if we click on the menu right here, it's actually going to show all of the pages right here. And so we'll have to change our mobile menu, and I'll show you guys that in just a second. And then they still have their store icon right here and logo in the center. Scroll on down a little bit more. We've got the second section. It compressed nicely. So did this one and this one. Scroll down. And so this is that second section. That's the blog intro. And so we've got the little value proposition, and then check out our blog. And this actually compressed nicely. I'm actually very surprised. Scroll on down, and we've got the 4 different categories. Looks great. And then we've got our products on sale. We've got the deal of the day. We can actually change this one just a little bit, so it looks like it compressed incorrectly, so we can actually edit this one and see what's going on. Let's go over to the advanced tab. There's no margins or padding. We can go ahead and click on the columns button and see if there's any margins or padding. So it doesn't look like there are. So it just split it up 1 and 1. So we're just going to add a little bit of padding to center this. So go ahead and click on the text editor, and then we'll go over to the style tab first, and let's shrink it just a little bit. So for the size, I'll make it something like this big instead. So 99, a little bit smaller. And so I'm going to go to the advanced tab right here, and then I'm actually going to do margin instead. So I'm going to go ahead and click on link values together so that it doesn't link them. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a negative right side. So right side, a negative margin, and it's going to drag it over to the right hand side. Just like that. I think that looks good. We'll continue down. So we've got the products on sale. Everything looks good. And then the testimonial section. Fantastic. Looks like we didn't have to do much, so I like that. We'll go ahead and click on update to save our work. Even though it's not the hardest step, because most of the time Elementor is going to do a very good job on compressing your website to a smaller screen, it's definitely really important to make sure that we do accommodate having a mobile version, because you're going to have more than 50% of people going to your website from their mobile phone. I mean, in this day and age, we have people on their smartphones all the time. So I would say 50% of your traffic is going to be going to your website using a smartphone versus a desktop. So it's really important to make sure that it compresses correctly. And so this is only for one page. I'm only going to do the one home page for this example, but you would want to go through each individual page and make sure it all compresses correctly. And so that would entail going back to your pages over here, and then you would just click view on each page, edit with Elementor, and then you would go into the mobile version. So that looks pretty good to me. All right, everybody, now that we've finished everything in our website, we can go ahead and take one final look through. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up on a new tab. We've got our image gallery in the background with our title right here. I think it just looks amazing. I am loving this website. We've got our different sections here so they can go to the different departments. The blog is next, and then we've got the departments here as well. We've got products on sale. We have the deal of the day, and then we can go all the way back to the top. Check out the blog page next. Everything fades in nicely. We've got our blog posts organized, and of course you would have a lot more here, and you can go to whatever blog you want to. And then we've got our store where everyone can look through all of our different products, and they can go to Amazon whenever they want by clicking on the buttons. We've got our departments, which will take them to individual product categories. The About Us page looks amazing. And then we've got the contact page as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I really appreciate you making it to the end. I hope you all enjoyed it or at least learned something from it. So if you've made it this far and you haven't started your website yet, go ahead and click on the very first link down in the description to claim your domain name and get started building your passive income today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.